Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to Saeed TV. And today we are here for Midday Live, people. The building for Midday Live. Big up to everyone who's locked in right now. Smash the video. It's a new week. It's a new, you know what I mean, beginning for everyone. If you've got any goals you want to smash, new week, new settings, man. And hopefully some bloody transfer news. But we're here with a man them. We got man like Rums. You know what I mean? He's in a glorious shirt right now. Let them
Come
know
on.
what shirt you're wearing.
Big up the Mengal, Flamengo. Smoke this guy's team down here. Big up Mengal, man, my Brazilian team. Just signed Verts. Kirk has medical scheduling today. Frimpong over the line. Listen, there's no better time to be a Liverpool and Flamengo fan. So yeah, big up the panel, big up the chat, smash the likes, all that good stuff.
Come on. Big up, man. And big up to LB in the building. LB's here. New LB, man. What's going on?
He's getting that Turkish treatment. That TVL, yeah. He's getting that TVL.
New season, new me, mate. Yeah, I'm not taking no shit this year. Last year I got bullied on this panel, man. Yeah, a real talk, man. Nah, big up, lads. What we're saying.
Big up, man. Big up to LB. Man, like Don's in the building as well. Man, got a little, you know what I mean? What are you telling me, Don?
I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying the sun. I was at CB the other day on Saturday and whatnot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Big up Chris Brown and that. Yeah, because certain man, I don't know how they can hate from outside of the club. They can't even get in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, big up the panel, man. Big up the panel. Big up the chat as well, man.
Come on, man. Big up to you, man. And obviously, big up to man like George in the building. Durag Diaries. What are you telling me?
Come on, man. I'm good. I'm sure, Don, you would have known different type of hospitality over them places. You don't get that in Stamford Bridge. But
I can't lie, Jules. I must have caught one summerberry cocktail, bro. I don't know if you've copped it before, yeah. Hey, that drop there, leng drop. I can't lie. It was nice. £14.50 for one cocktail, bro.
Expensive, wow, man. I'll tell you that now. Expensive in the Tottenham Stadium.
Jeez, man.
Thank you for your contribution to our transfer fund, innit?
Bro, I bought two of those fuckers. It cost me £29. £29, bro.
Boy. Yeah, this is crazy, man. But yeah, man, listen, let's start with the Club World Cup. Obviously, that's probably the most interesting topic to talk about. We'll start off with, obviously, Man City won their game last night. I didn't watch the game. I know LB, you did, man. Talk to us, man. What was it saying, man? Is it
Messi, bro, is the truth. Yeah, let me just say that right now. Yeah, you all seen the free kick, yeah? You all seen that?
I haven't. I genuinely haven't.
The free kick is cold.
Pull up the free kick. Pull up the free kick. Yeah, so he's a madness. What else happened in the game, bro? I can't even lie, bro. Like my brain ain't working right now, innit? Because I was so late watching the game. But nah, honestly, bro, all I can say is like, obviously, I ain't gonna be shameless, innit? Because at the end of the day, yeah, we've played two teams that ain't that great. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to be honest, but there are signs of improvement. You see the goal, yeah?
Yeah, banger. Oh, nice, my days.
Yeah, nah, bro. The thing is, yeah, we're seeing signs of improvement. But to be honest, I think the big test will come against Juventus because they've been looking pretty good by all accounts in the tournament. But yeah, man, like Nori played. He played well. Reinders in the first game played well. Rodri's back. You know what I mean? He looked a little sharper yesterday as well. First game, he looked mad rusty as to be expected. But yesterday, he looked pretty decent. So it's just about improving from last year, and we're definitely improving. You know what I'm saying? So now, yesterday, man, was interesting because yesterday he played a formation that I think he's going to play for the rest of the season. Because I've already said I think Savio and Doku ain't going to play that much really going into next season. I think it's going to be
like going to be crying about that.
Yeah, Foden's looking a little bit better as well. We're playing through balls in behind for Haaland, man. So listen, at the end of the day,
this one's going to be your formation though, like having one holding midfielder there and like two eights. Is that what it's going to be now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think we're going to basically play, three at the back. Yeah. With those players, it'll be Diaz and well, maybe it might be Huzanov, but it'll be three players at the back. Nori will just bomb forward, which is what Gavardio's been doing. You'll have Rodri in the middle, probably with Tijani Reinders next to him. Yeah, and Tijani Reinders will get forward. Yeah, and then you'll have three attacking midfielders. Yeah, so it'll be Foden, Cherki, and maybe Marmoush. They'll all invert. You'll have Nori on the wing. Yeah, and then you'll just have Haaland up top. That's how I think it's going to be. That's what I think is going to happen. Cherki was decent yesterday as well. Come off the bench for like 20 minutes or something. he looked really good.
Oh, goals cold. I can't lie. The goals.
So like, listen, it's what it is, man. Like improving, that's what it's about, and see what happens in it in the next game against Juventus. But yeah, I ain't gonna be too shameless in it. I ain't gonna be too shameless because it's like Alain and
yeah,
you know, and
they're
that,
dead
yeah,
team, man. I
is,
can't lie. They're dead team, man. But I think you lot are through that. Surely.
You what?
Was that your first game, bro?
No,
That's the
second.
The first game was against Wydad, didn't it? But we wasn't great against Wydad. But apparently it was like 35 degrees Celsius or something when we played Wydad, so like all the players were fucked in it. But yesterday was impressive, man. We was better. Like I say, man, it's the Juve game on Thursday or whatever it is. That's the test, man. I mean, I ain't gonna be.
You're through. You're through though, surely. You're through.
Yeah, we're through. But obviously, if we don't win, we could probably get Real Madrid.
Yeah. Even though I don't think Real Madrid, I'm not gonna lie to you, they're not someone that right now are playing the best football. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what's like?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the game yesterday. Apparently, they were much better the Madrid team because they got a red card within like 5 minutes.
They got a red card within like 10 minutes, bro. Asensio again, bro.
Yeah, and then they won 3-0. So obviously, it's albeit 3-1. Sorry, but it's who they're facing. But apparently, they were a lot better yesterday with 10 men. So you never.
They were more clinical, I would say. Like especially because I only watched the first half. But Jude scored a good goal. What's my man's name? The Turkish kid. Gula.
Yeah. He's a baller, man. Listen, he's a baller, bro. He's a baller.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he scored a good goal. But bro, they were playing against Rondon, man. Like even when they had 10 men, you're seeing Rondon getting into the final third, and the guy could barely even run. Solomon Rondon from West Brom.
Rondon.
They're playing against him, bro.
Yeah, Rondon.
Courtois made some good saves. Courtois made some good saves as well. I can't lie. In the first half, before Madrid scored, then he made some good saves. But they were never going to lose that game, man. They were going to lose that game.
Now they're never going to lose that. The thing is, they're just better players, bro, and they can find a formation, man, that will suit each other. What do you might think of like Xabi Alonso though? Like, do you think he actually do well over there? Like, do you reckon like a tactical new element is going to be better for them? Like, obviously, right now, Vinny's thinking up the gaff right now, but like, do you reckon like a manager that's more built on tactics rather than Ancelotti, who allowed them just to play football, will be better for them? Like, I don't know. It's a big, like, it's a big job, man. It ain't Leverkusen where if you lose, no one's gonna really say something.
These players need coaching at Real Madrid, innit? Because, like, let's be honest, I honestly think a lot of it. Bro, I'll be real, maybe a hot take. I think some of those players are mad overrated, bro. I'll be real.
Go on, then. Tell me who.
I think Vinicius Jr. is mad overrated. Like, I think I've never seen the Ballon d'Or. What happened at the Ballon d'Or? Is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in sport. You know what I mean? The way that they reacted as if like he just dropped a 50 GNA season. When was it? Mateta had more goals than him in the season.
He's always watching football with a calculator. The first thing he says is GNA.
No,
it's so funny, you know.
He didn't even say he had a mad season playing well. He just said was he had a 50 GNA like that.
No, wait a sec. I'm saying,
and then you're quick to quote me about my stats, LB. That's the funny thing about you. You like to bring up stats, but you like to quote me about my stats.
Your stats are stupid, bro. With all due respect,
they're not stupid. No,
they're stupid, bro. They're stupid
to you.
They're stupid
to you.
No. I'm talking about Vinicius Jr. The way that they was going on at the time, was insane. I'm saying they're acting like he just dropped. Raheem Sterling, in his prime at City, was up there with Ronaldo and Messi for goals and assists in a single season, bro. I'm telling you now, Vinicius Jr. has not had a better prime season than Raheem Sterling. I'm telling you that now, man.
You're going. I can see. Can you guys see? His eyes aren't even looking at the screen because he's got the GA up.
I'm watching cricket, man.
You're looking at the GA. You're looking at the GA right now. You're looking at
cricket, bro. I'm not looking at the screen.
Yeah, but LB, okay, let me ask you a question.
Sterling lace Vinicius's boots, bro. Stop trying to line it up.
I'm not saying he can lace his boots. I'm saying Sterling had a better prime season.
LB, be real. That year, how much Real Madrid did you watch that year, bro? How much of Vinny did you actually?
A lot of Real Madrid, bro.
Yeah.
That year when Vinny was good.
You think that him not winning the Ballon d'Or warranted that reaction from him and all the people around.
I mean, he low-key carried Real Madrid though through the group stages though and the knockout stages. When you think about it, I know Mama scored the big goals. The guy that was the makeshift striker up front.
Dude,
yeah, Hosselu. I know he scored a few good goals.
Yeah.
Vili in that knockout stage was doing a madness though. You get me?
In the final, did he score in the final? He got an assist or something?
Yeah, he scored a final. Yeah, he scored a final.
That was my point. I kind of agree with LB. I feel like Vinny's overrated, but he's very good in moments and the thing is, the moments he's good in are in high caliber games, like semi-finals, quarterfinals, finals. So like, I actually think his legacy will actually be quite good because you're going to remember Vinny in moments that mattered, like Champions League, maybe La Liga title run-ins. But if you look at him over a course of the season, I do feel like Madrid fans do a bit too much and people do overrate this guy. I don't think he's the player people think he is. It's not to say he's bad, but like, people put him in the stratosphere of like your miles and all that. And it's just like, calm down.
Bro, you're miles clear of him. You're miles
Exactly.
such a clear player.
You're miles a better player.
Junior, bro.
I'd agree.
You
guys are right with what you're saying in the basis. Like, Vinny's a moments player. He's not as good as many people make out to be.
Yeah.
He's still one of
He's
the
still a
top
world-class player,
No,
though.
I think he's
I
still
think
one
not
of-
world class. I'd take him at City all day long. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I think he's overrated. Yeah. I think Mbappe's overrated. I think Jude Bellingham's overrated. I'd probably say Rodrigo's overrated. Bro,
I wouldn't
think
say
a lot of
Mbappe's
players are-
overrated. I wouldn't say
I think
Mbappe's
he's-
overrated.
I think he's overrated.
Nah. See, this is saying that
It
we're
depends
using that
where
word a
you
lot.
rate them now, don't it? Because I think the
think
rankings
he's
obviously
overrated.
moves quite a lot. I think Real Madrid as a team, you're now saying a lot of them are overrated because they didn't have a great season. Which is, you're right. But when they had the season that they had the year before, they all got overrated because they had the great season. That's how it is, isn't it? Once you have a good season, your worth goes up a lot more. People start talking about you madness, and they couldn't maintain that. So Jude had a bad season because he couldn't maintain what he'd done the year before. Vinny had a bad season because he couldn't maintain what he did before. But when you actually look at it, and like you said, I think a lot of these players just needed a manager to come in that can actually coach and make players better rather than just Ancelotti bringing them and be like, you guys play football, play fun, just win the game. I don't think Ancelotti actually focused on improving the individual elements around a lot of these younger players. Vinicius is still very young. He needs someone who can actually coach him, tell him what to do, instruct him in game. I don't think they've had that. And Xabi Alonso's going to bring that to his game. I think you can just see what he's done with Wirtz, what he's done with Frimpong, what he's even done with players like Patrick Schick, who's an actual goal scorer for Leverkusen. Like,
I agree.
You know why you're spot on as well? Because Madrid have that crop of young players, Brahim Diaz, that new striker, what's his name? The one that's starting number 9.
Yeah, this new kid. Who's this new kid, by the way?
He looks all right. But also
right.
Endrick, Arda Güler and whatnot. Like, they've got a good young crop of players, and I think Alonso's the perfect manager for them. So yeah, I actually agree with you, Jordan. Like you said, I understand the overrated thing because Jude was almost a victim of his own success. First year winning the double, and also didn't he match Ronaldo for like the most goals in your first 10 games or something like that? Like, he had a mad first season for Madrid. So you're right. Like, I do feel like people overrate him, and then to replicate that again and again and again, it's tough. You know what I mean? It's very tough.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, it's like, I think with Jude, I can see where people say he's overrated because his ability on the ball, like I don't think it's there. He's more of a goal scoring kind of midfielder. But other than that, like, you don't really see the hype that people say he is. You know what I mean? But then you got to respect the fact that he's a goal scoring midfielder. You know what I mean? So in aspects, I see Jude Bellingham's game overrated, but you know what I mean? It depends on what you kind of look at. What's overrated? I feel like the word world class is now being used around, but then what's overrated? It's overrated to the point where people think he's Ballon d'Or level. It's overrated, mean like, you know, what they see in terms of GA and his stats and whatever. It's in the eye test when they watch him here and there, they think he's not that great. We have to now almost define overrated now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, even the word underrated. If I say a player's underrated, like me and Toles were having this debate in South Africa, yeah. He said that Berbatov is overrated. Like, he said it. Yeah.
Berbatov's overrated.
I've been questioning Tone's ball knowledge for a while now, man. This already threw me off.
He's overrated. I don't really hear Berbatov being spoken about.
Hey, Tone, if you're in the chat, you might have to explain yourself. You might have to explain yourself.
I'd say he's fairly rated.
I was actually
saying
anything. I just want to say that if we're saying he's overrated,
if anything, he's underrated. If anything, he's underrated.
I don't think he is, Roms. I don't think he is. I think people just rate him as what he was. Like, everyone kind of knows him as, you know, he had a very good touch. He came into United. He did all right at Spurs. He scored goals, but no one really called him world class. Like, no one really called him
world class. Yeah,
like, everyone just says he was a good player. Like, everyone just kind of a good player with a very good touch, very elegant player. If you want to call him that, he's an elegant player.
Yeah, like for me, it's like and then we're having a kind of conversation about Didier Drogba and like people look at Didier Drogba and think, oh, but he only got like 12 goals in one season.
Yeah.
Overrated. That's an overrated player.
They're GA merchants.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying now. How is he overrated? Didier Drogba?
And he's been overrated because of, like we speak about Vinicius, moments. These players score in big moments, so you remember the big moments, so it makes you think this player was doing a madness. When the reality of it was, Drogba across the season has multiple years of under 10 goals, which for a striker, in this day and age, I agree, he was a facilitating striker. But in this day and age, in the top 6, you'd be calling him Nico Jackson gets cooked, bruv. He was having seasons. He's having seasons equaling Nico Jackson, bruv. That's the seasons he's having, though. He's had multiple seasons like that, equaling 9 goals, 7 assists. Under your stat metrics and your calculations,
we're not going to change the context. We're not going to change the context because those performances that he was putting out at the time was winning us trophies, right? No one was looking at Drogba at the time and saying, "Oh, Drogba hasn't scored 20 goals. Drogba hasn't scored 30 goals."
Yeah, that's what George is saying. Moments. He does it when it matters. That he's more of a moment.
And also,
player.
you keep saying
he's not just a moment.
John, you're saying he was performing. You had a team perform. You had a team full of bad players, so he was just blending in that team at times. That's all it was.
Bro, for me, Drogba, it's no surprise that Drogba's best goal return came with Ancelotti, bro. Because a lot of the time, man was playing with Mourinho's. You sit back, and then you get guys on the counter real quick. You get me? That season with Ancelotti is when he went real crazy, bro. Because
that's when he got 29 with Rooney, innit? That's when him and Rooney went ban for ban that season, innit?
Yeah, bro. You got to look at the systems that he's played in as well, man.
Listen to me, guys. Yeah, in 254 appearances, he got 159 GA.
Stop doing GA, man.
Yeah, why was adding assists for strikers?
It's embarrassing, you know, adding assists to strikers.
I hate it.
You just said
exactly. If you're saying he's a facilitator, you have to take that into account. Anyone that's saying Drogba is underrated, overrated, man's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
It was a cold ball, man.
You've got an agenda. I feel you've got an agenda.
I generally don't have an agenda, but do you know what it is? Because I've had conversations, I've done videos before in my past where we've broken down like the 2000 strikers, and people were trying to put Drogba near the top, like the top 7. I said Drogba's not even top 12, top 13, top 14. When you talk about like Jamie Vardy and players have got better legacies than him in the Premier League. For me, Jamie Vardy. That's a fact.
Relax.
Right now, I've been going around saying Jamie Vardy. They don't want to. He's a more prolific goal scorer. He's a more prolific goal scorer than Drogba. They don't want to admit it, though. They didn't want to admit it.
Drogba won multiple prams. Like, George, you did a bit too much there.
George, you're lost.
Bro. If you look at,
I've been running this agenda for a while.
The thing is, if you look at every season they won the league or any trophy, hold on a minute. Everything that Chelsea have won. Look at Drogba's impact and his overall involvement in the trophies. He's been involved in every single one.
I mean, Saeed, I'm actually in disbelief. Did you just say that Jamie Vardy has got a greater Premier League legacy?
No, this guy. Yeah.
George, that was mad.
That was mad, bro.
That's crazy.
George.
He's got 4 Prems to his name alone.
You could have said Rudy, Van Persie, Aguero.
No, I went low. No, but this so you don't get Roms. I went low for the reason to show you the level of what he's at. That's where he's competing with the
level that he's at. What are you waffling about? What do you mean the level?
I'm a hater. No, but the stats will show you. LB, you're a stats man. Go look at the goals and assists.
I'm not a stats man.
Go look at the GA. Go look at the goals. You will see Jamie Vardy scored more goals more consistently than him. You don't want to admit.
Look at the trophies, George.
This is the Spurs coming out in you. You just hate. You state like
crazy, bro. How dare you? How dare you try to say he's got a greater legacy, bro? Do you know how many things Drogba won?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Look at the numbers and then tell me otherwise. Because you're number one.
No, because you said he's got a greater legacy. Well, he's got a greater legacy because you rate him as a better goal scorer.
And he won again. The most impressive Premier League in history was Jamie Vardy, innit? We do remember.
But
Drogba won. He's got a better legacy than everyone.
That doesn't mean he's got a better legacy than him.
Do you know what?
No.
By your logic, he's got a better legacy than everyone. 4 Prem, bro. He's got 4 Prem.
And he was pivotal in all of them 4 Prems. You can't say he's got a big.
Pivotal in all 4. What, the one that Jose Mourinho won when he came back that Drogba didn't play? What are we doing?
No,
He's not. He was a part of that team. He was a bit part player.
He was a bit part player, but hold on, Jules, bro. You got to look at everything else he won during the time he was in the Prem, bro. Like, the guy was Mr. Wembley for a reason. You get me? He was Mr. Wembley for a reason.
All of our clubs. Maybe not
actually, no. Berbatov, the guy we just spoke about, dunked on his club when we played them in the final. So let's remember something. He didn't dunk on my club in no final. Let's have it right.
Remember a semi-final. I remember a semi-final at Wembley.
Definitely bagged against you, man, at Wembley.
Yeah, exactly. It was the semi-final. I think he bagged against Spurs. And
in that season, he still got 19 goals. You know, but that year, that whole year, that calendar year, he scored 19 goals. But I do agree with you.
Wait, what do you mean calendar year?
No,
yeah,
but
I just see this now, yeah. We beat Spurs. I just reminded myself. We beat Spurs 5-1 in 2012 in the semi-final. Yeah.
Semi-final. I just said final.
Yeah, the semi-final. We smoked you. You just said he's never touched up your club.
And furthermore, we was ahead of you in the table by then, so we didn't really care. We was above you.
We won the Champions League that year, bro.
We were above you by then.
You know, Jones, let me ask you your top 10 strikers of the Premier League. Give me a rough.
Too much to give me off the top of my head, but for the players that I can name,
okay, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you then.
I got a Kane.
It doesn't have to be in order.
I got Kane. I got Aguero. I've obviously got Shearer. You've got Rooney. You've got
Van Persie.
Van Persie might edge in there.
I'm gonna give you some names then. Andy Cole.
I'm gonna go Cantona. I'm putting Cantona in there. Big fan. We've got Andy Cole.
No, this guy didn't watch this guy, you know. He just saying names.
He definitely did watch Cantona. I've definitely seen it. Even don't even.
You weren't even in the bullets.
What do you mean? You can't watch football back? I've seen enough Cantona games. I've seen when I was young. Cantona used to be one of my favorite players as a young guy.
You've been doing White Cup back in the day. You're doing White Cup.
Suarez, that's a 7.
George, look at me with a
straight face. I definitely said Aguero.
How many 90 minutes have you watched of Cantona? Look at me with a straight face.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean? When I was young, when we was young, did we not on Sky Sports? Was there not a repeat of games all the time? On top of Premier League games all the time. Sky Sports Retro used to play.
I said 90 minutes, bro. I said 90 minutes.
I used to see all these stuff, bro. Don't worry, man. No,
you don't watch more than 3 Cantona games in your life.
On reason there. And then I wouldn't put Saeed.
This guy's taking. This is hold on, Saeed. This is a cop out. I want to hear you say names that you have watched religiously and you remember. Don't tell me about no.
You're telling me Drogba doesn't make the top 10, bro. Stop feeling hurt about it. He don't make the top 10.
Dude, me and you are similar. Hold on, dude. I'm not hurt. I don't need your validation. I don't need your validation.
You can't name 10 Premier League strikers and put Drogba in there. You just can't do that. You're lying.
Of course you can.
You're lying to yourself. I just named you about 7 or 8 of my players, and then you're telling me, name the ones that you've seen. But I know from what I've seen of Cantona, he's better. I rate Cantona highly. You're trying to push off. And the one you're doing is you're doing it for a player that everyone knows is a top striker.
Yeah.
But you're trying to sit here and tell me he shouldn't be in there. Cool.
You know what? No,
I want to hear your list. I want to hear you. Hold on.
I'd have Rude above Drogba as well. I'd have Rude above striker.
Yeah, Rude's bad, man. Rude is one of the best.
One of the best finishes we've ever seen.
Yeah, we've ever seen, bro. You know what I mean? Like
again, I'd have Righty above Drogba. Didn't see too much of Righty, but I can tell you Righty was better than Drogba. So that's easy. I can name you about 10 or 11. There's about 11 players.
Listen, he's made his point.
I didn't even say Bergkamp. And I didn't.
You know what? Yeah, let's talk about the baby Drogba instead, man. I think that's a better conversation to have. We're talking about the baby Drogba. Anyone know about the baby Drogba?
There ain't no baby Drogba. Don't even call him that.
No.
There's no baby Drogba. He said it himself. I'm not Drogba. I'm Jackson. That's what he said.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. He's been called the baby Drogba.
No, he said it himself. Don't call me that. So don't call him that.
Okay, well, what should we call him then? The man.
Call him Action Jackal.
He knew that was a disrespect to the actual
you call him young
Drogba, that's why.
He's a young delinquent. Call him a delinquent, bro. He's back in delinquency at the weekend, bro. You get me?
Bro, what is wrong with that brother, man? Like, seriously, what's wrong with him?
I don't know. Like, I told you, I've got no words. I went downstairs to go take out some washing, and I just see the red dot on top of my club. I said, like, what happened in the 5 minutes that I decided to go downstairs to go take out my clothing that someone's been sent off. So I was trying to work out who it was. Then I saw Palmer up top. I said, oh, Action Jacko is back. Yeah. Action Jackson is back again. Yeah.
Can I stop you there? I heard
that was going to be a good idea to go in like that.
Disgraceful stat, bro. I heard a disgraceful stat. They were saying during the game, in 2025, he's got more reds than yellows than goals scored, bro. Do you know how mad that is?
Yeah.
He's scored 1 goal this year. In 2025, he's got 1 goal, bro, against Everton. That's it. But obviously, he was injured for a long period as well. But he's not been good. Yeah. You guys know what I've been saying about this guy, bro. Like, he comes on the other day, you know, cool, Flamengo, they were on smoke during that little period. They had a little, like, 5-10 minutes where they were on smoke. They scored 2 goals and that. But with 11 men, we had every chance to come back in the game, man. You could have benched that we had, you know. Maresca's having to throw on Mark Gill, throw on all these players and that because my man messed it up once again. You know what I'm saying? If you've played Roms, you've probably played with guys like Jackson where every game you want to scrap them, because they're doing something. They're just frustrated. There was one guy. I remember when I was in year 11. I used to play for my 6th form, so I used to play a year up. Yeah, there was one guy that used to want to fight every single team, and we used to tell my man, bro, we're gonna fight you now because you wanna let everyone down. You're trying to get yourself sent off. Now we're having to play with 11 men. You're getting yourself sin bin for 10-15 minutes. Now we're having to play with 10 men. Do you get it? It's the same thing as Jackson, bro. He's acting like a liability, bro. Yeah, it might become a situation now where the club look at it and say, yo, he got a red card against Newcastle. Maresca spoke to him. He still hasn't learned his lesson. Yeah, let's accelerate on this Ekatike thing. Because what happens straight after? You'll see links to fucking Juventus. You get me? Yeah, Juventus won him. Italy won him. Napoli are looking at him and all of these things, bro. Yeah, that's not a coincidence. You can say it's clicks and that, cool. But I think that the club are open to selling this guy, bro. You know what I mean? He's not learning. Yeah, you're nearly 25. It was his birthday as well. You know that? It was my man's birthday. He did that on his birthday.
24.
That was his birthday. He got sent off on his birthday. He got sent off on his birthday, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I keep telling you, man, I'm not worried about Delap's quality. I am worried about Jackson. Because you don't know what Jackson you're going to get in front of goal. You don't know the petulance. You don't know the attitude. You know what I mean? You just don't know what Jackson you're going to get. That's why we need to bring another striker. I'm worried about this guy, bro.
And you know what, Don? You're in a situation where, cool, let's be honest, the last year or two, not saying this should have been your aim, but you've just been trying to get Champions League football. You're in a situation where you're trying to kick on now. You can't have a guy where it's 50-50. You don't know when he's going to turn up. You need that guarantee. And you know what? Even Delap, right? I rate Delap. I've said it many times, said it last week and the week before. If you don't want to actually challenge, you need another number 9 coming in with him. But one thing I've noticed a lot, I didn't watch Ipswich like that, but I'm noticing and I know you want your players to fight and whatnot, but even him, he looks a bit ill-disciplined. Like he's making needless challenges when he doesn't need to. He's elbowing players. Like they're actually going to need to work on that. They're going to need to work
100%. But the thing is, the way he does it at times is smarter than Jackson. Do you get it? Like he does
when the ref's not looking.
He'll just kind of leave it into someone. Like I don't mind my striker doing that, innit? Like Costa used to do it. That's just how they are. You know, I want him to rattle the centre backs, and there's going to be games where he gets away with it, right? But Jackson, it's just pure stupidity, bro. Like the Newcastle game, you're getting frustrated, so you decide to headbutt my man. You know what I mean, right? Or what did he do? He elbowed my man or whatever it was. I can't remember what he did. He elbowed him. You know, this game, the guy's shin is there, bro. You literally put your foot down on him, and I'm like, don't you understand the rules of the game? That is a dangerous tackle. We could have broken his leg. You know what I'm saying? You could have actually broke the guy's leg, bro. So I don't know. I don't know because clearly he's not learning. You've been here now for 2 years. Like this is your 3rd year now. You know, no one can tell me that, you know, Chelsea are lacking all this experience. We've got a lot of players now going into their 3rd year at the club, bro, in the Prem. You know what I'm saying? Right. If anyone here was to buy Jackson, they'll say, oh, Jackson's Premier League experience. That's what they'll be saying. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why he's still doing this shit, bro.
You're right. Premier League experience, not Premier League proven, because he ain't proven nothing. You said this was part of the best duo in the Premier League. Remember you were saying these things, and now you're really starting to look at it.
His first year, he scored.
Okay, you done the stats thing. You done the stats thing, and the stats prove that the eyes weren't working. Yeah, your eyes weren't working for a very long time when we were telling you about Action Jacko. Yeah, all these dead players and stuff.
I disagree that he's a bad finisher. I disagree with that then, yeah?
No, but what he is was he was a winger that's been brought in to play in the strike, and you guys thought, yeah, we had a striker here.
No,
But he's
I've
not.
never said any of that then, George. I've never said
You
any of
have
that.
said he should play on the wing, but you've also said that he needs to play in the nine. You said that he's a good striker. You said that he was going to perform. You said that he was going to improve. You said he was going to improve this season. You said how he was going to take it into the next, and he didn't.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. I've said he's a striker. He needs to keep learning the role, is what I've told you, right? And I picked him up at the start of the season because he deserved it. But when he's been playing shit, I've been cooking him.
Don, we're not going to do this. George is right. You said, and you can run back the tape. You said Jackson, he's a striker, but he's better off the left. I feel like we should play him wider. He's more effective off the left. You said that at the start of the season, bro. We remember.
No, I didn't. I've only seen this guy. I've only seen this guy play on the wing. Twice? What I've told you lot is he started off as a winger and he got moved up top. That's what I told you.
But you were saying he was
more effective. I also told you. Hold on,
he was more effective off the left, didn't it? He was doing more. He could up the ball in the wide spaces. When you wanted to sign Osman, you were all sitting there angling for how Jackson could still be used. That's what you were doing.
I said you could potentially use him off the left. That's what I said. But I told you that
you actually said these are the words verbatim, yeah? You said, cool. You said he's not the striker that's going to take you forward. Therefore, you said, my better performances I've seen of Jackson. This was at the start of last season, by the way. I'm not saying you said it recently, but around September, October times, you said he's a better operator off the left. I remember you said it on a few shows, not just one or two. Yeah, you said he's better from a wider position than being the actual.
No, I've only seen him play. Poch started him in that position like once or twice, bro. Like that's I've never advocated for playing Jackson left wing. Like I've said, okay, that's a potential position he could play, right? But I've told you lot that Maresca don't see him as a left winger. Because people keep saying, move Jackson left wing, move Jackson left wing. And I'm like, bro, Maresca's already said he don't see him as a left winger. He's going to keep playing up top. Do you get it? And I told you, lot, Emery moved him from left.
Respectfully, how is Jackson getting this much airtime, bro? How is he getting this much airtime? The guy's a fucking mid-footballer. Yeah, he's not good enough to play on a wing for Chelsea. He's not good enough to play as a striker. He's not good enough, man. Like, this is just a pointless fucking conversation because he's never been good enough. Ever since you bought him, he's never been good enough, and he still ain't good enough now. That's why you bought Delap as a striker, and that's probably why you try to buy another left wing. He ain't good enough, man.
You know what? You deserve to beat, by the way. You deserve.
Listen. You see the game the other day. Yeah, listen. I'm all for managers experimenting against harder teams, right? Because you got to like test yourself, yeah. But this Reece James starting in the midfield experiment. I don't understand why Maresca is still persistent with it, right? Yeah. I defended him before when he did it because we had no Lavia. We had no cover for Lavia. So Reece had to step in and play in that position. But now that you've got Santos there, now that you've got Asugo there is no reason to be playing Reece in midfield, right? Flamengo are aggressive and they press, yeah? If you want to play Reece in midfield, if you're going to play Reece in midfield, all that's going to happen is he's going to get the ball and it takes the guy about 5 seconds to turn. He's not press resistant like Lavia or fucking Santos in midfield. So you wasted everyone's time, right? Palmer right wing, you don't already know. I prefer him down the middle. But Palmer can play right wing. So I'm not going to cook Maresca for that because against the bigger teams, 4-3-3, you might want to solidify the midfield a little bit more. Enzo Caicedo, Lavia, something like that. And then Palmer right wing. I don't mind that. Palmer himself, though, was bad, yeah? He was shocking in this game, but the physicality was too much. It was too much for this guy, bro. He was getting shifted everywhere. He wasn't getting involved. You know what I mean? Enzo at the start of the game was getting involved in the game, but he didn't have that person in the first phase giving him the ball because Enzo wasn't involved in our build-up. He wasn't really getting many touches of the ball.
Do you know he was excellent? Do you know he was excellent and brought so much calm to you lot, right? Lavia. Yeah. For me, he was your only like beacon of hope because whenever he got the ball, he's doing what Lavia does. Press resistant, he was dropping the shoulder, breaking lines. He was even breaking lines by dribbling, bro. I was like, you know what? This guy is something else. If you can keep him fit, because correct me if I'm wrong, Lavia came on, didn't he? He came on. Yeah, he didn't start
and then Lavia came on, yeah.
For me, I don't know your assessment. Actually, no, I do because I watched you reviewing it, but for me, first 10 minutes, they were all over you. And then, I don't know if you agree, Neto scored against the run of play. Then you lot started to control the game. I'd say from about the 15th minute, all of the first half, you lot probably should have scored more. But for me, I don't know what Felipe Luis said. And you know the irony of this? There was a few like sub-headlines. Jorginho ex-Chelsea, Felipe Luis ex-Chelsea. For me, the second half, I know you're saying there was more than enough time for Chelsea to get back in the game, but even before Jackson gets sent off and they get the equaliser before he gets sent off, I feel like the momentum was with them. I personally feel, I'm not saying they would have won 3-1, but I reckon they would have won like 2-1, or they would have just got the 3 points. Even if Jackson stayed on.
Let's break down how they scored though. Both of their goals was Gusto defending like a joke man, right? Defending like an absolute joke man. If you played Reece at right back, let's say you can see Gusto was struggling in the first half as it was. I don't understand what's going on with this guy's passing. First of all, yeah, like his passing has been so bad. There was a moment in the game where he gave the ball to Caicedo, some hospital pass.
I saw it.
You see it? And then Caicedo ended up giving a foul away, and he could have. I think he even got booked for that one. And I'm like, broski, you're putting your players in danger right now because you're giving them the ball that they shouldn't be receiving. Right? There's that. So if Maresca managed the game well, he would have moved Reece to the right back position, took Gusto off. 2 of those goals don't happen. Look at that first goal, Roms. Yeah, Gusto's got no awareness of what's behind him. The ball goes over his head. The guy heads it back, and then all the guy's got to do is just, you know what I'm saying, he just kicks it into the net.
Don, even a couple minutes before that, do you remember the instance? It wasn't necessarily Reece James' fault, but I think a ball goes over Gusto. Reece James is running back. Remember, they shoot. I think the goalkeeper parries it, and they needed to put it back across goal, and it hits the side netting. Do you remember? That's just before they got their first goal as well. So the warning signs were there, and I know what you mean.
The warning signs were there.
I don't know what's happened with Gusto, but like you said,
he's fell off, man. I don't know what's happened to him.
He plays best when he's overlapping.
And the thing is, people will try blaming all of Maresca. Like I hear it. Maresca should not be inverting him. Maresca shouldn't be playing him in midfield or as an 8, as a 10. I hear that. But the basics of his game, bro, the passing has been so bad. I literally tweeted the other day, you know, on FIFA, when you hold X for too long and the ball just flies away, bro. Yeah. That's what Gusto's been doing, bro. Instead of just passing it, caressing it to his players, my man's just, it's like he's just trying to, it's like a bomb. He's moving like Bruno. It's actually moving like Bruno with the passing, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what it gets to him.
I don't think Gusto was that good as well. He was getting cooked a few times.
I thought the first half was good. First half was an even game.
Yeah, sorry. Second half was an even
game. Yeah. First half was even. I thought first half we both gave each other some jabs. Big up Neto as well, because that was a good goal. That was a very good goal.
And now, what are you trying to improve your team? Like, what's the latest? I'm hearing, obviously, like, is it Kamara or is it, what was that kid that you're looking to go and get, like, from Lyon?
Fofana.
Gittins.
I see Liverpool involved now. Apparently, Liverpool involved. Apparently, they're like frontliners for Fofana. Obviously, we're looking at Gittins. Fabrizio keeps saying that we're trying to find a little agreement there. There's been no links to like any centre backs right now because I think the main focus is our attack, innit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where it is right now, man. Obviously, there's a lot of people trying to speculate about Santos. Oh, Santos is going to leave. Yeah. People doing too much, bro. Like it's 2 games in. You know what I mean? Like, cool. I hear it. The experiment flopped. I'm glad the reporter asked Maresca, yo, why are you playing Reece in midfield? Because I would have said the same thing. Why the fuck are you playing him there? And from Maresca's response, I can tell that he knows he made a mistake. So now I expect Santos to start to get integrated. Because on Wednesday, we're playing an easier team, bro. We should be beating that team. You know what I mean?
You're playing Mila Kunis.
I can't lie, man, I can't really talk much on that guy because apart from the World Cup, I haven't really watched much of him to really break him down, innit? But I don't know. I need to do more research on him. I saw links about him. But what it is right now, man, it's just it was a bad day in the office, man. You know, it's our second loss in like 11 games. The rest of them have all been W's. But every time we lose these days, it seems to be a fucking crisis. You know what I mean? I was seeing bare people talking on the timeline about Maresca, and I'm like, I hear he made a mistake, bro, but let's see how he bounces back.
You know what? I think this season was a season where you really can't make a lot of mistakes. Like, I feel like it's going to be a crucial season for Maresca. Like, yeah, cool, you got us to top 4 now, but can you get us to the next level now? I feel like that's where things are going to start being a bit more. You're in the Champions League.
Yeah, but the signings ain't. We spoke about this last week. I think the signings ain't looking like they're pushing forward, innit?
Yeah.
At the moment, it's looking like they're
signings aren't matching the ambition of the club. Yeah, they're not.
And the thing is, you always kind of got to match your competitors because you see City with Cherki, Reinders, and Ain't No. You're seeing us with Frimpong, Kirkes, and Wirtz. And now Chelsea are going for a kitten. Do you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't match
you know,
up
it is
very well.
With that, Rons, I feel like the thing is with Chelsea, they're either all the way on one side or they're all the way on the other. They either always sign in the top players, the ones that are a bit older, but they're proven, they're a lot of money, but that's
it's just potential.
It's just potential when it's young. And now it seems like they're not going they're still going for potential and young, but they're not just because a few years ago when Todd Bowley first came in, let's have it right, they were going for whichever players the other teams were going for. They were just trying to get in for these deals. They see Man United in for a player, they're going in for him. Arsenal, they're in for him. And that's when they started being for everyone. Now it seems like they're reverting to data and stuff, and they're trying to use the data to make the signings. But at the same time, I still feel like they're going for the wrong level of player. Like I said, Gittins on the data, because I've looked at him for Tottenham as well. He looks amazing on the data. He is a really good
Bayern Munich are looking at him now as well.
We were the first team linked with him.
Yeah, you can understand why a lot of teams looking at him because he's up the upside.
Arsenal were looking at him as well. Arsenal want him. They were looking at him for a sec.
But I feel like the Leao deal is something where you guys should be. That's more up your street. That's more He's a bigger name, but also let's have it right. He's better than
until it's time to defend. He doesn't want to fucking trap back, mate.
That's fine, bro. But when you talk about proven, you said Prem proven's Nico Jackson. Okay, Leao is Serie A proven, but also Champions League proven. He's done it at the higher level. Yes, he's not done the madness. He's not done Vinny Jr. or Yamal, but he's still done some really good stuff, and he's ready to go into a big team. He's not going to a small team. Bino Gittins could still have a few more years at Borussia Dortmund, and nobody's going to care that much because it's not like he's going to blow up the whole of European football in the next year or two. So I feel like you guys are just going for the wrong level of players, man.
Listen, we have to see, innit? We have to see. Like I said, look, the window's ongoing right now. The Club World Cup is still ongoing as well, Jules. We just have to see what we do, man, because this club is full of surprises. Garnacho, bro, we're not going near. Stop it. Yeah, you lot. I keep telling you lot, we're not going near this guy. We're not going nowhere near him, bro. I won't be surprised if it ends up at Arsenal, if anything, bro.
No, but Don, this will be a beautiful thing. You get Garnacho, then Noni to Arsenal. Just everyone just helping each other out. You know what I mean?
Nah. Fuck that, bro. I don't want Madueke to go there.
Would you even be mad at that, though? That's an upgrade, though.
Bro, I don't want him to go there. Why would I want? Hold on. So Arsenal have needed a backup for Saka for years now. Yeah, we saw Saka's lamb shank fly off his bone not long ago. I'm saying it flew away. Right now, you want me to go and give him Madueke, who can come in for this guy and help them out, so he ain't gonna get injured again.
This guy rates Madueke.
Do you want to sell Madueke to Arsenal?
Of course not.
Yeah.
The only way I would get rid of this guy is if we bring in Kudus. Then we've got a replacement. We can play Kudus off the right, Valde, Neto. But selling what's his name, Madueke to Arsenal, you're strengthening their squad because now they've actually got a backup for Saka.
Hey, Charleston, you'll drive him there.
They're strengthening their squad.
Noni, I'm not selling Noni to Arsenal. I'm
strengthening their squad. I'm sure they'll be all right without Madueke.
You're telling me he's not a good backup for Saka. You're telling me, hold on, Saeed. Let's be objective now. You telling me Madueke is not a good backup for Saka?
It's a decent backup, but the way you said it, like strengthening them, like
he is strengthening their. Hold on. Is he not strengthening their squad? Because who's their backup for Saka right now?
The piss. Don't ask any. Ask any sensible Arsenal fan if he's strengthening their squad. They're gonna laugh at you, bro. They're not
gonna laugh at me. Why is he not strengthening their squad?
Waneri's better than Madueke. Waneri's better than Madueke. How does he? Waneri's wait, Don. Tell me, Waneri's better than Madueke. So how does he improve?
Do you know how many games Ethan's been playing on the right and struggled physically, bro? Do you know how many times he's struggled?
Okay, but by the stats show that he scores more goals, gets more assists than your boy Madueke in the short games.
Now we're being disingenuous. Now we're being disingenuous. You're not gonna tell me. You're not gonna try to convince me that Noni can't come off the bench. Saka comes off 70th minute. He's tried to cook the fullback or whatever. Comes on against tired legs. He can't be direct, run at people, and try and make things happen. You're not gonna tell me he can't do that.
I'd rather have one year.
He literally just did that the other day. Hold on. He literally just did that the other day for England with Saka. That's the irony. Saka came off the pitch and Noni looked even better than him. Noni looked even better than him, bro.
Don, do you know the problem with what you're saying, yeah? I agree with you. He'll insert more energy. He'll try and beat his man. But you know Noni's biggest problem? His end product. He'll beat his man and then do nothing with it.
Yeah, but but that's the thing, though. With bench players, bro, there's going to be a drop-off in quality, right? And end of the day, he's still at an age where he can develop. His end product can definitely.
They've got a younger player in Nanweri that's better than him on the right. It makes no sense.
Ethan is not a better right winger than Noni, bro. Ethan is a midfielder.
I'd rather have one year personally.
He is a midfielder. Hold on. Do you know how many games I watched? Do you know how many games I watched of Nwaneri on the right last season, and he's struggling to run past his man, bro. He was struggling.
It's not all about running. There's different types of wingers.
That game against Leicester, hold on. That game against Leicester was an anomaly, bro. Go watch back a lot of those games. Even for me, when I watch him, I'm like, yeah,
I get what you mean. Against Arsenal,
you
know what side though? What Don's doing, Don, what you're doing is your preference of winger. I get Madueke's more of a touchline winger, but Ethan Nwaeri's more of an inside winger, right? You can have different variations of winger, but Nwaeri's a better winger than Noni, in my opinion. But even Arteta don't really even like touchline wingers like that. So Nwaeri's probably a better fit for Arsenal than Noni.
And do you know what it is, Roms? Nwaeri is like Saka. He does what Saka does. They're very similar. Why do I want Madueke, who just runs to the byline 5 times a game? Runs to the byline.
Why would you not want a different profile? Why would you not want a different profile? Why would you not want someone to come on and have thinking of something else?
Because you have managers that would like a different profile, so they can bring him in and change the way they play, or you can just bring in Nwaeri, who's going to do what they do and just do it at a different level. He's I don't know what you think. And when you talk about Madueke's his dribbling is good because he runs on the outside all the times. If he tries to come through the inside like Ethan Nwaeri does, he'll dribble better than Madueke does. More often.
That's not a debate though. Ethan on the ball, dribbling wise and that, the tech and that, he's better than Madueke. And that's why I would, as an Arsenal fan, I'd want him to be played in midfield, bro. If anything, he should be competing with Odegaard. Because for me, I believe that.
I do agree. I've said that too. I agree.
He should be competing with Odegaard because I actually think he would get more GA than Odegaard. Like, he shoots more than him. He's more accurate than him. He's got a better shot than him. Like, if you bring Noni and you've got Ethan that can be rotating with Odegaard, you're strengthening their squad. I don't get what's so mad.
Someone said it in the chat. They watched LAFC right backs pocket Madueke, but you're now trying to tell us.
Oh, he was shit up here, but he's not a left winger. I've seen enough of him on the left to know he's not a left winger, bro. The guy was absolutely shocking the other day. Maybe the honeys weren't there because you know the stadium was empty, innit? The honeys weren't about, bro. You know what I'm saying? I saw him in the club after. I saw him in the club after and that, yeah. But I'll be real, like I have to be objective about it. I wanted Olise because Noni is a squad player, right? And the reason why, Roms, like what you're saying, is because the end product is not consistent. Saka's end product is way better than Noni's, like 100%. But let's be real, man. When you look at your bench, you know you're gonna have a drop off in quality, man. That's how it is. That's how it is. If you had someone else that was as good as Saka, don't want to leave. You know what I mean? You can't have Olise and Saka play together.
But on that point though, so if Madueke does go to Arsenal, when's he going to play?
On the right.
I think when is he going to play? When is he going to play?
You take Saka off. You can play cup games. You got Champions League.
But he's only going to take Saka off when the game's fully done and dusted.
But if you've got Noni there, he's never had that team. But LB, he's never had real backup for Saka, so you don't know how he would react to it.
No, but look,
he's not taking off Saka unless the game is fully won. Like,
no, but LB, the irony of that is
we don't know.
LB, the irony of that is even if the game's fully won, Saka will play the whole 90 minutes anyway. You know what?
And that's why you've got to criticize the manager, though. That's why you've got. If there was to sign Madueke right now, and Saka's still getting overplayed, you have to criticize him for that because you're not managing him well, right? Yeah. Saka right now doesn't even look back to his old self. Like, he doesn't look fit to me. Did you get it? So if I'm a Guna right now, I'll be like, bro, if you're bringing Madueke in, Saka after 70 minutes. Even if
I don't think it's. You know what Don is saying. Yeah, I don't think it's a wild statement in terms of like his idea behind it. But I didn't agree with the whole word strengthening. That word,
that was it for me. The word strengthening.
How can it? Hold on, Saeed. How can it not be strengthening their squad? All right, cool. Put it this way: if they don't have backup for Saka and they overplay him, he will get injured again, right?
Yeah, I know.
He will get injured again. So would you rather not have someone there for Saka? Saka's there majority of the season. Because what's going to happen is if they don't have backup for Saka, he'll get injured. Come the end of the season, it's we're missing Saka again. We're missing this guy again. We're missing this guy again.
You know what? It's what Saeed said. Yeah, I just feel like the problem what I had with what you said. I understand your idea. I understand your logic. It was the word strengthening because for me, if Madueke comes in back up for Saka, they're just plateauing. They're not regressing, but they're not progressing. They're just kind of staying at the same level. So that's the only thing I had a problem with.
That's where they need to go more. They did it
personally, I think but if you're talking about 11, I never said it strengthens their team. I said it strengthens their squad. Because if you look at their squad, it definitely strengthens the squad, bro. You're bringing in.
No, but that's my point, Don. I
never
still
had
think it
backups
stays the
this time.
same. I still think it stays the same. That's why I disagree. I think even squad. But
Nah.
I know you're not saying Madueke to come in 11. Of course you're not. But I'm saying even squad. I just think they stay the same. I think most sensible Arsenal fans, they say Madueke is that. Some will even probably say they've regressed because they just don't rate him.
Yeah,
But for
I
me, they
don't
just
rate
stay the
Madueke
same,
bro.
like that.
Savio, don't
you know,
yeah, man.
crazy on it, man.
Look at their backups that are deemed they will strengthen the team. And
You lot are moving like you lot are moving like Noni's like robbed out like Sterling or something, bro. Like
He's just
what
not
we
very
doing?
good, bro.
It's not right.
You overrated
Yeah, he's not
him.
robbed, he's just not-
He's a squad player, LB though. That's what he is, bro. Like, and people want to go on about how Arteta likes to develop and coach players. Why can't Arteta develop him?
Yeah.
Why can't Arteta help him?
He's not going to play.
Yeah.
He's
He's
not
not
going to
gonna
play.
play.
I ain't gonna lie
He's
to
not
you.
gonna play.
I don't think it's gonna happen this anyway. He's just not gonna.
I don't think it will happen, but we can't let it happen. I don't
I
want
want
it
it to happen.
I
I want it
Yeah,
to
Arsenal
happen.
don't even know the transfer window's open, man. I don't know what's wrong with that club, man. It's fucking insane. Yeah, I remember back in January, Arsenal fans was getting on to me saying that, the reason why we've not signed any players in January is because we're going to go big in a transfer window in the summer. Hello? Does anybody know that the transfer window's open at Arsenal? Real talk, man. That is skint or something. Like, honestly, it's insane, bro. How have they not got a striker already?
Let me ask you lot something, yeah. Who should Arsenal bring in right now as backup for Saka? Name me 5 names.
For me, I think they should go for someone like a Semenyo.
Semenyo's a
But
left
he's
winger.
gonna cost a lot of money.
I like the Kudus shout, man. I do.
Kudus wants to be backup for Saka, yeah?
No, he won't be
Yeah,
sacked.
but Kudus is pretty good at like rotating. He could play anywhere across the front line.
He could play anywhere, to be fair.
Can you answer the question, please? Will Kudus be backup for Saka, bro?
You're telling me Kudus would rather stay at West Ham than go to Arsenal?
Kudus will go somewhere right now where he's going to start. He's going to have many clubs after him.
Oh, so you do this thing you done, yeah, where you ask a question, yeah, we give you the answer, and then you go, oh no, we can't do it.
Because I'm saying Kudus is going to have many options. Why is he going to go to Arsenal to be backup?
Options. Show me now, yeah, one Fabrizio tweet where someone's bid for Kudus. Show me one.
Bro, there's multiple clubs after him. Arsenal won him.
Clubs. Where's the bids?
Man United, I think, are looking at him.
Where's the bids?
What am I looking at him?
I would say,
Tottenham
you
are
know,
looking at him.
Nobody, man. You better broke.
No, but this is what I don't like about what LB said.
5 names that could be good backups for Saka, please.
Don, to answer your question, yeah, I don't think you won't start ahead of Saka, but I think in terms of, who you said strengthening the squad, I think if Arsenal was to sign like an Adeyemi, that will strengthen the squad. Not 11.
Fuck you now, man.
And he will strengthen
the
squad.
No, first of all, Adeyemi is even a left winger, and this guy
play right. He can play right. He can play right as well.
He's wasteful as well. So now you're doing a big name thing now because Adeyemi is meaty.
No, because not done. Why it's about signing players.
Adeyemi is meaty.
But
yeah,
and why is Adeyemi gonna go? Why is he gonna leave Dortmund when he's gonna go to? He'll have so many other options to go start because he's a bigger name.
No, but this week
you just said back up to Saka, and that will improve the squad. So for me, Adeyemi's more of an upgrade than a Noni.
But why would Adeyemi leave Dortmund to go be a backup for Saka? He would have many clubs where he can start.
No. I'm not saying he would leave Dortmund, but you're saying just name players that would strengthen Arsenal's squad ahead of Madueke. I named you one. I'm not saying
I didn't say that. I asked you a question. Name me 5 players. Name me 5 players. Name me 5 players. 5 realistic targets right now that you can go and buy that are right wingers or can play comfortably on both sides, even. Yeah.
Bowen.
That will be back up. So Bowen will be back up to Saka then.
Oh, number 1.
But you know what you're doing with this question, Don, because what player's going to want to go to a club and say, I'm a backup?
Player. That's my point here, though. You're not going to find many backups. You're not going to find many backups, yeah?
You're telling me that Kudus
at the level of what
Bowen wouldn't go from West Ham, where they're not in Europe, yeah, to go to
Don, you're not making no sense here because you're talking about why would a player go from an average team to a league, a team that's competing for the league and potentially Champions League? Why would they not want to be a part of that squad? If the player thinks they're good enough, they go to that team and they play a role in that team, a significant role. Maybe not be a starter, but can still play significant minutes. Why would they not leave? Wait. Why would they not leave a West Ham, a Dortmund, a team that doesn't win stuff, a team that doesn't compete to go to
win stuff now, yeah?
A team that competes, I said. competes.
Playing Champions League.
I'm not being funny. No, don't. If a
convince
player
me.
thinks they're good enough right now, they should think that they can be the difference maker between Arsenal being a trophy winner and not. Because Arsenal aren't far off. They just need a small gap. If a player thinks they're good enough, they should think they're that difference maker.
Yeah, but George,
I'm gonna be Don as well. How come you're
Luke Max,
so
Luke Max has a shout. And Dibley. Big up Luke Max.
How come
Dibley's a good shout.
All right, Don, how come you're so confident then that Madueke will go and be a bench player at Arsenal? If every player that we've named so far, you've gone, I won't be a bench player. How come you're so certain that Madueke will hold bench?
Because Madueke is not as good as Bowen and these guys. He's a squad player.
Right?
Like, why would he start ahead of Saka? Why would he start ahead of Saka? You're talking about
as a player.
Hold on, LB. Hold on. You just said Bowen, one of the best.
Chiesa. Hold on. Chiesa.
Bowen, Chiesa. They can take Chiesa. Let him go there. In fact, let him go. That's fine. Let him go. Bowen is one of the best right wingers in the Prem, regardless of him being at West Ham or not. If he was to leave West Ham right now, he's going to a team where he's starting. Right. That's why a lot of Liverpool fans were having debates, were having conversations. Hold on, LB. When there was rumors about Salah leaving, potentially leaving Liverpool, the biggest shout I was hearing was Bowen, bro. I was even saying Bowen would be the best. Yeah, but bro, the point that I'm making is Bowen is at that level.
Bowen is crazy.
Automatically go into. But Bowen, whoever, Jared, yeah, Jared is more than good enough to go into a team right now that's playing in the top 6 and start.
Right, Don, I don't disagree with you. What you're saying, the point is,
you never let me finish. You never let me finish.
It doesn't make no sense,
Bowen,
bro.
Bowen is one of the best right wingers in the Prem. You want him to leave West Ham to go and play for Arsenal to be on the bench? That's not happening.
I'm saying to you, show me the bids for Bowen. Show me the bids for Kudus. Yeah, if the bids are there, fairs. There ain't no bids. He's still at West Ham, both of them. So
they're not going to spend like how much? What? Like, they'll probably spend like 80 million on him, 70 million on a backup. That's not happening.
Apparently available for like 50 mil.
No, real talk, man. It's one of them. Like I said,
I don't think. Hold on, Saeed. When clubs come to Kudus, like for example Chelsea, well, Kudus starts on our right ASAP. Yeah, Kudus doesn't automatically start at fucking.
You're not buying Kudus. You're not buying Kudus.
We're looking at Kudus. We're very interested in Kudus.
What about Yildiz?
We're very interested in Kudus. We are, bro.
Yildiz is a bad boy.
You do realize we had a contract agreed with that guy, but we left him because we was focused on Caicedo. So we didn't go back to Ajax to bid.
Why would Madueke at 23 years old, when he's got something to prove in his career, why would he go and sit on the bench but nobody else would?
Well, because he's not as good as them. As simple as that.
Well, but do you not think he wants to prove himself as a player in the Premier League or like somewhere else?
Hey man, Arteta could say to him, look, I think you'll be back up for Saka, but at the same time, you can play on the left. There's certain games you'll start. You know, Saka got a big injury last year. We want to manage him well, so you will start enough games. There's these things, man. There'll be things in his contract and that. You get me?
I just think it's mad, yeah, how you say to us, yeah, on every single player we say, you come out with excuses of why that don't work, but then you're so certain that Madueke would be happy to go to home bench.
Yeah.
Well, because you've mentioned guys like Jared, bro, and I'm sorry, he's at a different level to be a bench player. That guy starts for all of us right now.
And I agree, but if nobody else bids for him, and Arsenal are the only club that bids for him, so you don't think he goes to Arsenal? You think he stays at West Ham?
No, that's not. I don't see Arsenal spending that money on a Jared, right?
I don't see West Ham.
Bowen. I don't see that. Like Arsenal ain't gonna spend that because it's not an urgent requirement right now. What's urgent for them is striker and left winger.
I wasn't having that conversation about whether it's urgent or not. You said show me 5
how much is
we give you
how much it's gonna cost. That's not realistic though. They're not gonna go spend 80 million on Jared Bowen, yeah. For man to be on the bench, like that's not that.
That one I agree with you.
They can play him as a 9. They need a striker. Jared Bowen's a finisher. They play him as a 9. I'll tell you. You know he likes to do the makeshift stuff. You play him as a 9.
That's crazy. But listen, you know what, man? You got to give it to Don, man. Like find someone who backs Madueke like Don, and you have got.
I'm not even backing him. I'm not even backing him, bro. If we sell him, if we get Kudus and we sell him, I'm not losing no sleep. But the way people are going on like he's useless, bro, I would have happily had this guy as backup for Elise. Happily, bro. Happily.
Don't lie. When Madueke leaves Chelsea, you're going to take the day off work, innit? Like, you're not going to now turn to it.
Listen, what I don't like is how he's having to start week in, week out because he's not at that level. He's not. You know what I mean? He's so frustrated. He's such a frustrating player.
The fact that you don't think he's at that level, that's good. That's good.
I've said this
finally realized after the season.
No, don't say
at the start of the
finally.
season he was that level.
Don't say
You
finally.
said he was going to get 10 Premier League goals, so you thought he was that level at the start of the season.
Hold on, dude. What I've always told you is I like how direct Noni is, but he needs to improve his end product. That's what I've always told you.
And you've started to realize that his end product won't improve, so he's not at that level, right?
Can I bring up another debate quickly?
Okay, so now what you're basically saying is you are wrong. Thank you, Don. Thank you.
You know what? I want to bring up. Don. I want to bring up another debate, and I want you and George to bicker. Do you still think Noni? Do you think he's better than Brennan Johnson still?
Brennan Johnson? Oh yeah. I still think he's better than that. Yeah,
but there's no chance. So the numbers just prove that that's a lie. So
now Brennan Johnson's the better goal scorer.
He's a better player. He's a more effective player. Is what I said about him at the start of the season. I said he's a more effective player. He's not as good on the
better than Madueke still.
And wait, Brennan Johnson hasn't even had his best manager yet. Watch till Thomas Frank lets him loose.
Oh, that was loose. No, Saeed, that's a brilliant
what people don't realize, is under Ange, he's like a dog that got let out of a cage but still on a leash. He's still being held back a little bit. He's out of the cage but he's on a leash. Under Frank, he's off the leash. You're gonna see him everywhere. You're gonna see him popping up with goals. Might even get a 15 Premier League goal season. It's not what I'm saying. Brennan Johnson's gonna go a next level under Frank. I'm telling you now, innit? I'm telling you.
Oh, so now you're Team Frank because a second ago you talking about Javi.
Get out of here, man. Sorry, I just wanted to laugh.
That bonnet. I don't know what's in that bonnet, bro.
Drogba is overrated, and now you're saying
Saeed, I can't hear it from you because Brennan Johnson's better than all of your attackers. How about that? Oh, and you're gonna say Cunha? Yeah, he just joined. We ain't seen him in a Man United shirt, but he scored more goals than all of your attackers, and he scored what? The most important one, the one you saw live. Oh, Mimau Stadium. How was that? How was that Brennan Johnson goal? It was a dagger. So that's what he scores. Is daggers.
Yes, George. Talk your shit.
Is he better than Ahmad? Is he better than Ahmad Diallo?
Has Ahmad ever scored 10 Premier League goals or 10 league goals or 10 goals in a season? Allow me.
Havertz. Okay, hold on a minute. Havertz has scored. Look at this guy. So Havertz scored how many goals last year, guys? 9 goals, but the season before he scored 14. Do you rate Havertz then? There you go, silence.
I don't know. I'm back. I had to quickly go do some.
How many goals did Havertz score his first season? Was it 14 or something like that in the Premier League? Something like that, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Havertz, but Havertz
by your logic, by your same logic,
Havertz is effective. He's better than Xerxes and Højlund, yes.
But forget that. I'm talking about, you've just said Brennan Johnson scored over 10 goals. Has Ahmad done that? So by your logic then, you're saying that you're rating players based off the goals that they score.
No, so because you're telling me Ahmad Diallo is better than Johnson.
So now, do you
by
rate
what metric?
Yes or no? Based on your logic. Do you
no, because Brennan Johnson is effective. We base Brennan Johnson of how effective he is.
Bullshit, bro.
Ahmad Diallo is decent, but you've seen about 2 months of good Ahmad Diallo football, and you guys think he's the next best thing in football. That's it. Man United fans have seen 2 months of him playing good. It's about 8 weeks of good football.
Let's not do this, man.
You've seen about 8 weeks.
And Messi.
And now you think that he's the next best winger and
had an injury that he was out for 3 months.
And he come back and done nothing.
Hold on a minute. This brother here, this is what I'm trying to say to you.
And did you say I'm more Messi playing? So you said
the same guy. Hold on a minute. You know what about the thing is? This is the same guy that's cooking LB, saying that LB looking towards his stats every year, but you're doing the same thing.
I'm doing it. No, but mate, this is what I don't get is I've remained very consistent. We've been doing this Brennan Johnson stuff since this time last year. And I said, when it comes to Brennan Johnson, the only thing I will talk about is his goals because that's what he's good at. He's effective at scoring goals. So when you talk to me about other players, I can talk about the eye test. He's not good on the eye test. But Brennan Johnson is more effective than Diallo. He's a better player than Diallo. This is the first season. Wait. This is the first season. This is the first season you've seen Diallo in the Premier League. What Diallo done this season? Brennan Johnson doing not enough for it.
This is where we catch you out. Would you swap?
Hold on a minute.
No.
Hold on a minute.
No, Ahmad Diallo's not that good. And the thing is, they talk about Ahmad Diallo like he's 19. He's 23 in 2 weeks. He's not a young player, you know. He's not a young player. Diallo's not. He's not Garnacho. No. You wait, Saeed, because you talk about him like he's Garnacho or something, like he's 20 years of age. He's 23 in 2 weeks. What's he done? He scored 8 Premier goals.
This is actually shameless.
Brennan Johnson and him are about the same age.
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe what we're hearing right now.
Have some shame.
I cannot believe it. What's Tobes
George,
said?
this might be.
We're not believing Tobes. This is the same Tobes that didn't want to show face when he had his opinion earlier. He didn't want to show face on certain opinions earlier. I've already told you, Tobes has been questionable. Tobes has been questionable. Yeah.
This man scores tappings, yeah. That's all Brennan Johnson does, by the way. He scores. There's a cutbacks, yeah.
He scores in finals. He scores in finals.
Back post Brennan. You don't see him dribbling. You don't see him taking man on.
But you didn't have anything to say when LB was just saying. When Sterling was back post Sterling, you guys didn't have a problem with him comparing.
No, I'm gonna be. No.
You didn't have a problem when he was comparing.
I
When he was comparing Sterling to Vinicius Jr., you didn't have a problem.
You've lost the argument.
You are shameless. Sterling never done that. Sterling used to take man on.
Brennan Johnson literally said in an interview he was watching Sterling clips to see how Sterling was playing.
What does that mean?
George, you
he
are
wants to be back post like Sterling was. Back post was as back.
Sterling has at least 10 goals for Man City where he's cut in and he just wrapped it. He is not a back post. Don't get it twisted. He scored back post goals, but this is what Brennan Johnson is known for. Sterling has a plethora of different types of goals, bro. What we doing here? He's not just back post.
Again, that's not the point. Post. He was a back majority of his goals came at the back post. Majority of his goals came at the back post. Sterling was a back post merchant, but Kevin De Bruyne off the right into the back left post. Sterling taps it in.
Jules, we're chucking bare tomatoes at you in the chat.
I don't care.
Tomatoes in the chat, bro.
They can throw all the tomatoes they want.
This is crazy,
George,
bro.
have you had a sniz? Before the stream, bro?
No, man, I don't do what you guys do. I'm not on those. Come on, man.
There's something in that bonnet.
There's definitely something in your drink.
Bro. He's actually cooking.
Brennan Johnson. Name again. Do you know what I get? Why people are jealous? Because Brennan Johnson more effective than all the wingers you had. He's more effective than all the wingers you had. Guess what? He's more effective than Savio. He's more effective. Do you know what? Put me on big screen. Put me on big screen. I need to say something. Put me on big screen.
George, don't you dare compare to
I want to be big screen. So I just needed to make it clear to everyone, yeah? I get you're all jealous because Brennan Johnson's got more goals than all Man United wingers last season, all the Chelsea wingers last season, all the Manchester City wingers last season, all the Arsenal wingers last season. The only winger of anyone on this panel that's more goals than him is Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah. You're all jealous. And on that note, thank you, guys. I'm signing that. Signing that.
Wow, man, this is honestly, bro.
I can't believe.
He's gonna imagine one today.
I feel like this is my blame. We let them win the Europa League, and this is a new George here that has just become crazy, bro. Like honestly, bro, like this guy was doing Durag diaries, emergency Durag diaries, and he's coming on here now talking about Brennan Johnson, bro. Seriously.
I don't think you understand what he just said. He said, you lot are jealous. LV went, oh my God.
Jealous, man, is crazy. Jealous. I can't lie.
You know jealous for Brennan is crazy. Jealous for Brennan is crazy, bro. That's crazy talk.
That's crazy.
It's crazy talk when you're shaking your nyash for fucking Madueke, who scored about half the goals Brennan did, but you're telling me I'm the one that's
I'm not even shaking my nyash. I'm not even shaking my nyash.
You've been shaking nyash for Madueke all season, bro.
I wanted to at least say.
You were making bets about how this guy was going to score 10 goals in a year, and he couldn't even do that. He couldn't even do that.
Hey, you know what, chat?
I was wrong.
On the behalf of Saeed Midday Live, I actually apologize because I didn't think the Madueke Brennan debate would spiral into that. So you know, I'm sorry.
What I want to know, yeah, because you started talk crazy about Frank and whatnot, yeah. What you saying now, Jules? You've had a change of heart now, because not long ago you wanted Xavi, mate. Now you're talking about Frank like he's going to be your savior.
Oh, George,
was you not on Midday Live last week?
What did you say last week? Remind me. I think I joined late.
Said the same thing. I didn't want him, but I was the one that said I want Xavi for months. So I'm not come out and said, "Oh, I wanted Frank. This is the manager I wanted." No, Frank is a good manager. Nobody here on the panel can what. Nobody here can say Frank is a good manager, a good coach, and I think what he does and what he brings to Tottenham is the ability to make players that aren't so good. So I think the likes of Brennan are actually going to improve with him being here.
George,
I think
who you looking at right now? Who you looking at right now?
George, I want to speak up one of your tweets. This is a segue. This is a segue, bro. This is a segue. George, I was actually going to reply to your tweet, but I thought let's wait till Midday Live, right? You quoted something saying this is us. And
yes,
LB, don't say anything. Wait. Don't say anything.
Don't mess up your meaty players.
No, wait. No, but George, only two of them on my plate. I want to know LB 1 minute side. I want to know LB Don and Side's opinion, because I think for Spurs, this is probably about a 7 out of 10 window. So, well on side, I think a Spurs Twitter thing said Tottenham could potentially pull off a 200 million all English transfer window this summer. Yeah, bring it up, Saeed. And
so we're gonna bring this up. This is apparently better than Diallo, by the way. Brain numbing, yeah.
But again, you can look at all the things. I get on to Johnson more than anyone else.
Performance, final third is non-existent. Johnson is a loser.
I said all of this on live. Wait. You know why you're all embarrassing? You know why you're embarrassing? Wait, Saeed. I've gone on live and cussed out Johnson more than any of you guys.
Can you get up another tweet from George, please? It's the one that says this is us. But there's 4 players that they're linked to.
Send the tweet.
I'll send a tweet to you now, yeah? Saeed, it was Joe Gomez, I kind of hear why you don't want. But it was Eze, Manu, and Harvey Elliott. And George said that window would be us for Spurs. I couldn't believe what I was reading.
God, I think I repeated
Harvey Elliott, who else?
Manu, Eze, and Joe Gomez. I kind of hear the Joe Gomez one because he's a bit injury prone. How is that us? That's a 7 out of 10 window for Spurs.
7 out of 10 based on what? Based on what?
I'll say right now, right? You've got a player in Manu, in my opinion, that can link stuff for you. You've got a game changer.
Manu doesn't start for us. Okay, Manu doesn't start for us. So what are you doing?
He starts for you, lot, man.
You got Eze that can operate off the left.
Starts. Okay, the other 3, Harvey Elliott don't start.
Harvey Elliott
doesn't start.
You can start on the right easily.
You've lost your mind.
Brennan Johnson.
Wait, but doesn't Kulusevski start 10 for you lot?
He plays in the 10, but with Frank, Kulu can play off the right. Maddison will be in the 10. Elliott's not starting over Kulu. Manu's not starting over Bergvall. Joe Gomez is not getting into our team.
That's the one I didn't agree with.
Only good signing here.
Gomez, I didn't agree with because his body's kind of giving up on him. But I think that you look, am I going mad? LB Don.
No, 100% you're not going mad. He's got the ego now.
It's all right.
Wait, you said it's a calm window. I said it's an arse window. So what expectations do you have for Tottenham next season? Say that's a calm window. Because what would that team do signing those 4 players? What, finish 8th and 9th? No, great window.
For me, top 6 Spurs.
With those signings, we get top 6. You're going mad.
The first 2 would be very good for you lot. Manu and Eze would be very good.
You know what? The other 2 maybe not.
Other 2 not maybe, but the first 2, yeah. The fact that you call it this is arse though is a bit worrying.
Come on, George. That was a bit too much.
The way you said it is
you could say it's average, but arse is correct.
Signing Joe Gomez and Harvey Elliott is arse. If I'm signing,
you need to humble yourself, bro. I'll be real, man.
I know, man. You need to humble yourself.
Crazy, bro.
You need to, LB again. Do you know what it is? Yeah, because I heard you say it's like, you signed a couple players this window just because you've had your little pump of adrenaline. Oh, we signed our players. You're feeling like you're on top of everyone. Where you seem to forget. I won a trophy this season. You didn't. Know your place. Kind of talk to me about where my levels of my team is at. I know what I mean.
You're happy about this? Is all your fault, by the way. Yeah, you do realize that, innit?
I know it's my fault. I know. But you know what? It's going to be sensational. is to crash out next season, man. I just know it. It's always around the corner.
You know what?
Tottenham-
I'm gonna call it now. Yeah, Spurs will actually get to the last 16 of Champions League. They will actually some way they'll get out, then they'll just get spanked. They'll get a last 16 team, and they'll just get spanked. But they'll surprise people. They'll get out there.
You think so? Tottenham
the season. Let's see.
Hold on a second, Jules. Why you not playing Luton in July?
It's just a pre-season friendly.
Pre-season.
Oh, it's a friendly, yeah. I thought that was some. I don't know, bruv. Or you got a Super Cup as well.
You go to South America, innit? You go to South America. So South Korea. Yeah.
Wait, you're playing Arsenal?
Wait,
you play Arsenal. What's that for?
South Korea,
South Korea tour.
Wait, did you say North London derby in South Korea? Daniel Levy is a genius.
That's crazy, bro. That is crazy.
That's why I've heard that Spurs can't sell Son until that game is played because
Now, why would they?
The amount of money that's invested in Sonny being at that game, Tottenham aren't allowed to sell him until that game played.
Wow.
You know, in terms of marketing, he is a genius. You know, he's actually a genius. The amount of money that's going to bring him for you, that's mad.
Wait, Saeed, let me read Spurs' first 5 games. Yes, so they've got Burnley at home first. Then they've got Man City straight after away. Then they've got Bournemouth at home. Then they've got West Ham away, and then you've got Brighton away.
They've got a decent start.
That's not a bad start.
That should be minimum 10 points.
Yeah,
minimum 10 points.
I can't like.
I'm not into counting how many points we get. Let's just get through the first game and see how we go.
No, George, I'm just saying minimum 10 points. So you could have a loss and a draw in there. You could have a loss and a draw. Minimum.
That's not in that bad. You know, I ain't seen Man City starts. Let me go check this. I know United was hard.
Man City one's fairly decent.
Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and United got a tricky start.
Yo, you lot, smash your likes on the video. We got 1.8k in the building, man. Let's get these likes up, people, man. You know what I mean? Let's not slack on the likes. Liverpool, I seem to be busy. Obviously, still there's news on Gahey. What's the latest on Gahey, Rums, man?
So you know, last summer it would have been like 70 million and whatnot because he's only got a year left. They're saying it will be around the region of 45 to 50 now. But you see, with the Gahey thing, like I'm conflicted because I rate him, right? But like I said last week, this is a World Cup year. Now, I think for Gahey, I'm going to put myself in his shoes. He just needs to see, cool, because I think he'll be on the plane regardless. But I feel like the difference in him coming to us will be the difference with him either starting for England at the World Cup or potentially just being a squad player because he can come to us, right? But it's all dependent on Konate because Matt Hughes from The Guardian has come out and said apparently contract talks have stalled. So Konate, there's a possibility, in my opinion, he could leave by the end of the summer. But if Konate stays, Gahey's not going to start like that. He's going to play Carabao Cup games. He's going to play FA Cup games. He might come on to see out and people say Konate's injury prone, but the irony is the season that just went, he only missed about a month or two, which is very good for him. Now, if Konate does stay fit, Gahey doesn't play like that. However, does Gahey want to take the gamble of, if Konate gets injured, I'll step in? Because people are saying, he should come fight for his place and whatnot. And I get that. I do get that with Gahey. Like, if you back yourself as a footballer, go to the big club, test yourself. But it's World Cup year at the end of the day. And does he start over Konate for me? No. The only way this could work is if we change to a 3-5-2, which I actually want us to do. But you're not going to fix what's not broken. So if the Gahey new side, I do want Gahey because I think even if he doesn't start, like as a fan, I'd love him because even if he doesn't start, that's good strength and depth coming off the bench to have Gahey on the bench, right? But for him, like for his personal ambitions, whatnot, he might just want to play consistently this season. So he's guaranteed a starting spot in that World Cup. But I can't lie, for 40, 50 million, I'm all over that, bro. I'd love us to sign him. And the fact they're getting Diamande, the fact they're getting Diamande, I think it actually will happen. And we've just sold Konza's going Leverkusen for 35 million as well. But I want Gahey's side, but I just think if we don't get him, it will be because he might not see himself as a starter. That's all. That's all. But yeah, man, I want Gahey still. I think he's a good player.
Yeah, Newcastle could offer him guaranteed football, probably, couldn't they?
Yeah.
But they tried to get him as well, didn't they?
Newcastle not serious, man. I don't know what they want, man. They need to move correctly, bro. I don't know if they've got still PSR issues.
Hey, what's your thing with Newcastle? Every week you're just cussing them. Like,
no, because I feel like, bro, it's like, bro, man. I'm not saying I want them to succeed yet, but I'm like, bro, like man, need to put that.
But why?
Murphy and them, man, in the Champions League, bro.
No, but this is the problem, though,
bro.
yeah.
Longstaff's still there, them man. Like, get real.
I heard LB say this earlier. What is the rush? Why do people think the transfers ever get done in June? There's no rush
It's
to
always
sign
January,
players.
it's
Yeah?
always
People want to hit. They want to hit, man.
The 23rd of June. We've still got 2 months till the season, and people all like, "Where's the signing?
you got
Arsenal,
pre-season.
Newcastle not made moves." And it's
You
like,
know what it is, yeah? You know what it is?
pre-season
The
starts in
standard-
about 4 weeks.
Now, but the thing is, though, the standards have been set by two teams that don't even need to really spend money, and that's Liverpool and Man City. So
Man
why
City
is
don't
going
count.
on?
They've done all their
Wait, wait,
signings
wait.
for the World Cup. It don't count.
Hey.
No, we
If
needed
Man
to
City,
spend money.
if Man City
City
didn't have
have
that,
money.
But why can we get?
Liverpool-
But why can't we? Why can we get the deals done and nobody else?
Because
Exactly.
you
That's
had
what
the
I'm saying.
World Cup. You
Liverpool
needed to get them done so they
don't.
could be.
I don't
LB,
know.
you bring
Liverpool didn't sign anyone last year. They've probably been working on a lot of these deals from a long time.
Arsenal
ago.
spent
though.
70 million quid. Yeah, I spent no money in January, and they've still got no one in.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, what,
So-
LB? You won the transfer windows. Is that what
I'm
you
not
want to do
saying
now?
it
It's
won
too
as-
early.
I'm not
But
saying
it's
it's
too
what I'm
early.
saying.
Complaining about
Why
it,
are
not
these
signing
teams not
players.
done their work,
I mean, this
bro?
is genuine
No, but
saying, man.
if we're in August and players haven't and teams haven't signed no one, then
What do
it's
you mean
yeah,
August,
this is a
man?
big problem. But if we're not at the end of July, we're not even in the end of June, sorry, and people are here saying Arsenal haven't signed no one, Newcastle haven't signed.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
because they've
Yes,
got
it does
time.
matter. It does matter.
It's because they've got time.
If you're
That's
seeing
them,
Liverpool,
man. There, we've signed players.
if you're
Chelsea
seeing
signed players.
Liverpool and Arsenal, I'm sorry, if I'm an Arsenal fan here, I am concerned because if I'm seeing Man City and Liverpool who are aiming for the title going in early and making their marker now, I'm worried because I'm like, yo, why are we doing what they're doing? Why aren't we competing like the way they are doing? I'm sorry.
It's not even just that, bro. Like, I know you're saying obviously there's still a long time of the window left, but like, let's say you sign players during preseason. Now they're playing catch up 2-3 weeks to all the other players that have already played together. Like, it's little things like that, and 2-3 weeks is a great deal of fitness as well, George. So, but I do hear what you're saying. Like, I do feel like for me, the only real team that should be panicking. No disrespect to Spurs, you lot can kind of dibble and dabble. You don't really have to sign players just now. But Arsenal are the one team that should be panicking. I can't lie. Seeing your two rivals spending like this, and
They've signed. They made
That's
they made one of the biggest sign. People are trying to. Zubimendi is one of the biggest signings in this window.
Is he gonna help them win the title? I don't think so.
Yes, he's one of the best players that have been signed this window.
I mean, is he gonna win? Is he gonna help them win the title?
He's actually a downgrade on
Reinders. He's better than Reinders.
He's actually a downgrade on
God,
Party.
are you serious?
Oh, he's a downgrade on Party, but if you look at the stats, it will show you otherwise. So look at it.
Oh, come on, man. He's not as good as Party, bro. And where's the striker? The striker's the one that he did.
Seriously,
Wait, do you mind not rate Zubimendi or something?
I think
Underrated.
he's a good player, man. But
No,
where's
you
the
might.
striker?
Zubimendi is cold,
Where's
and you
the
know people
striker,
saying that
George?
like he's a downgrade on Party. He's really
He's
not
a
a downgrade
downgrade
on
on
Party.
George, we all know. You're saying he's going to help them to win the league. We all know Arsenal's problem has been their front line, bar Saka, bro.
Exactly.
They need forwards, not
I
the
know,
behavior.
but the point is that we're in June and people are saying that look, if they sign Gyökeres now, they could sit there and sign no one for the rest of the window, and their window's done. And Arsenal are cool. We
Why
are
did they
really.
not sign anybody in January, George, when they was in going for 2-3 trophies?
If we want to do the agenda
Why didn't-
thing, then we can sit here and do what you man are doing. But if we're being realistic, they don't need to
we're
sign
being
players right now. They
realistic.
can have another month with this
No, we're
Gyökeres
being
deal. It's not going to be a
realistic.
problem.
We're
It's
being
not going to
realistic.
impact their season if they sign Gyökeres on the 23rd of July or the 23rd of June. It makes no difference.
I tell you why it is, yeah, because it stinks of a club that is just winging it and ain't got a plan. Yeah. Liverpool went out there and executed. Even United have executed, on a player in Matthias Cunha, yeah. Arsenal are not executing on these deals. Why have they not got a striker done? Why have they not got a left winger done? Where are the deals?
Because the striker market's different. I feel like people, again, like you have the answers to your own questions. Why have they not signed a striker? Because they're looking at multiple strikers. Because them strikers are looking at because those strikers themselves are looking at multiple teams. Once one striker deal is done, it's going to cause a knock-on effect to all the other strikers.
Should be
Because
that
other
team.
teams are going to start to
Arsenal
realize they
should
need
be
to
that
keep
team,
them
though,
out.
George. Arsenal should be the team that gets that first deal done.
Arsenal, and they
need to
probably
be the
will
most
be. This is the
proactive.
funniest thing is, I guarantee you, Arsenal will be the team that causes the knock-on effect to all these other teams.
Are you trying to tell us
Man
that Arsenal haven't decided?
Man United can't make a move in the striker market until Arsenal do. They can't sign Sesko
why
Gyökeres
are
because Arsenal are a top option.
So what are Arsenal doing? Are you saying Arsenal haven't decided on which player they want to sign yet, even though it's been about 2 years?
Yes, because they're negotiating for both deals. They want the deal that is the best deal, clearly.
Why did they not just go and get the best player? What do you mean best deal? Just go and get the best
Yeah.
Now you're asking questions that we all agree go get the best player, but clubs get the best deals. It's all about getting the best deal, bro.
So they're not serious. Liverpool have just gone and spent 120 million on Wirtz, bro. Why? Because he's the best attacking midfielder in Europe that they can get. They've just gone and got Frimpong. They're getting Kirkes, and they're probably going to try to get Guay in. They might get a striker. They try to get the best players.
It's about intentions, man.
It's about intent, bro. They ain't saying, oh, well, we're going to not get Wirtz because he's a bit overpriced. We'll go and get this 50 million pound guy from France, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like, they're getting the best player they can get.
LB, I hear it. I hear what you're saying, but then again, look, the criticism's fair. I hear it, LB. I get it. But at the same time, these man, there could be so many things right now. There's obviously things marinated in the background, bro. They could have a week where you're seeing, here we go for Gyökeres, and then all of a sudden you're seeing Arsenal now looking at this guy, looking at that guy, all in the space of like 2 weeks, because all the groundwork's been done earlier on in the window, right? So there's that as well. The only time I really criticize them is if they're signing players late on in the window or when the season started.
We said this last year, though. They were in for Sesko all the summer. Sesko. It didn't happen. They went and got Sterling, Marino, and Calafiori.
And do you know what, Sai?
I don't see that. I don't see that happening this time around. Hold on, Roms. Let me respond to that. I don't see that happening this time around because, like we said right now, Sesko and Gyökeres are the main two they want. I think they'll get one of them done, right? And then left winger options. Again, that market's a bit of a struggle with LB because we're having the same problem. Like, we're looking at Gittins right now, but I think Chelsea are looking at another left winger to bring in as well, bro. And they're having a similar sort of issue. Williams is gone, that you know the left wing options are dead, LB. You know they're dead.
Why didn't they go for Kvaratskhelia in January? Why don't they try and go and get Barcola from PSG?
They've already said Barcola's staying. They've already said they're not selling him.
We're moving the conversation. I know they need a left winger, but forget left wing, right? The mere fact is, Arsenal have abandoned a striker for like 3 summers in a row now. LB is spot on. They should have been the first club, the most proactive club, getting a number 9 in, bro. They should have got. I'm not saying we've got a 9 yet. We'll probably get one later on in the window, but 9's not our biggest priority right now until we sell Nunes. We're waiting for that to happen. Obviously, City don't need a 9. But Arsenal, looking at what us and City have done, their priority should have been a 9, bro, because they've abandoned the last 3 summers. I hear what you're saying, if the window goes on and on. But like Saeed said, they did this last season and they did this the season before. Yeah. They just wait and wait until they don't get
him. Bro, if they leave Gyökeres, if they leave Gyökeres and Sesko too late, I will crash it on them, right? But right now,
can I ask something? Gyökeres has a release clause in it.
Yeah, so you don't even need to negotiate anything. But to be fair, they're trying to find out what is released.
They've raised it though, innit? They've raised it.
How much is released?
They're trying to. What is it? They're trying to get like 20 million more than what they were asking for initially, bro.
And also Rodrigo, I don't know what's going on with Rodrigo as well. I don't know if he's staying or going. He didn't play last night.
What's the release clause for Gyökeres though? I swear it was
around. That's the thing. It's not a release clause. I know people. There was one. But then the owner come in recently and said, "Oh, we want more money."
More money.
It's long.
People, this is the thing, though. People acting like these deals are so simple. They act like all these deals are simple. Sesko deal's been taking long because he wants more money all of a sudden. He wants more wages. Like, come on, man. We just got to
be... Apparently as well, he wants a release clause. So he wants to get out before he even gets...
He wants to get out of Arsenal. This is the thing. And like, I could do the trolling thing like you, man, and just laugh at Arsenal, banter them. But I feel like it's too early for that.
Yeah, laugh at it, bro.
That's exactly... I'm waiting, Jules. I'm waiting to really...
It's going to hit like crack in another month or two, innit? Like, I'm just waiting, bro. I'm trying to
marinate. Don't go too early, bro. Don't go too early. Calm down.
You're going to get some.
You're going to get some. No. Honestly, man, you're going to get some. You're actually going to get some, bro.
No, listen, we don't want some, man. Brother, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Listen, people. Let's. The last topic I want to talk about was Paul Pogba returning back to Monaco. What are you man saying?
No. You can't just be too good about that. Like we just didn't see your boy Shirley Carter with fucking Rashford's name on his back.
Rashford, yeah, you're trying to act like we didn't see that.
You know what I'm saying? Man's just trying to go to Monaco and that. You can't go to France like that. You can't go to France like that. Yeah.
Yo.
What's Alejandro doing?
What's your star boy saying, man? What's the message sending?
Was that overreaction, by the way? I don't know if you've not seen my opinion on YouTube.
I haven't seen the reaction.
I said I'm not mad, but I'm also saying that he's taking a piss at United, and he knows what he's doing.
Taking a piss.
He is in it. Thank you, man.
We're wearing a shirt from this
me.
current
Tell me.
loan season, bro. This is what Rashford was wearing 2 months ago. He's taking the piss, bro.
He's taking the piss, isn't it?
He knows what he done. He knows what he done.
And he's wearing, bro. He's taking a. He's wearing the name of a player that's putting your club, into like disrepute and like problem situation, bro. He's taking the piss, man.
And also the guy's literally putting here.
And he's taking the piss as well, Rashford, because he knows what he's doing.
Man coming straight away, you know. Man coming straight away. Man,
you know what's mad about this though? I guarantee you, this is all maneuvered behind closed doors by both their PR teams. Their PR teams spoke together and they said, "Look, we're gonna send you a shirt. You post this. We're gonna bounce off of and make Man United look bad because you've got the two. This is the two so-called bad boys teaming together."
I don't even want to sound like an old man yet, but this is just the epitome of how bad United are. This would never have happened under Fergie, and that players are just taking the piss.
Roms, it's the culture. We've been speaking about the culture at Man United for time. Yeah, Ronaldo spoke about it. Yeah, we all know how bad it's been, and the culture at United is absolutely hanging. It's so toxic, and I don't know how you fix it because. You've got rid of players in the past, and it's still bad. You've now got Garnacho doing it. You've got Rashford, a guy who supports the club. He's now getting involved. The whole thing at United absolutely reeks, mate. Yeah. I don't know how do you when a culture is so toxic. Yeah, how do you fix it? How do you fix that?
Yeah, and it's not going to be an easy start to start fixing it because their start of the season, Saeed, is long, right? Have you not got the hardest fixtures at the start?
Bro, we've got some tough fixtures, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's what Arsenal fans cried about.
Arsenal, Burnley, then those Arsenal, Fulham, Burnley, Man City, and then Chelsea. That's our first 5.
Fucking hell,
bro. You know what it is though? I don't know if you guys know about his brother. His brother's worse than him.
Yeah.
I always hear about his brother.
I know about his tweets.
Wasn't he like leaking team news or some shit last year or something?
Bro,
like that?
he's like cooking, he'll be cooking Sancho and them, man, and putting subliminals out there that Garnacho and Rashford, the maddest thing about this here, they don't even like each other, bro. Like them, man, his brother been chatting shit about Rashford and this, that, the other online, and they'll be like putting things out there, like, bro, like, this is the crazy thing about it. The picture, what's wrong with the picture is, guys, that and people have been saying that, but Amad Diallo's been wearing a Brighton shirt. Why are you not cussing him? Yeah, because the context behind it.
These people are dumb, man. Whoever saying that is a dumb person. Dumb.
Like, bro,
you ain't got the context, man.
Life, bro. Like, he got that shirt because Adingra is his boy, and he's literally his national team. Then they went, but Dog is wearing a Roma shirt. Yeah, there's literally no like relevance to Dorgu and Roma. Like, nobody. Like, I don't see nobody that's linked to Dorgu to Roma. Cool. But this one here, he knows, he said, brother, make sure you take a picture. I'm gonna face the cars here. Take a picture behind me, with the Rashford shirt. I'm gonna post that. That'll do well. You know when they say, post that'll be mint. That's exactly what Rashford's done.
What was his caption, bro? What was Garnacho's caption on the post?
I don't know. He didn't really put no captions, I don't think so.
And do you know what they say? What's that good old saying? An enemy of an enemy is a friend. Rashford and Garnacho have joined together for a reason, bro. They've got one common enemy, bro.
You know what's funny about what you said? Post that will be mint. It's not even a post might delete later. That's supposed to stay up there.
Stay there. I'm gonna put that out. Like, bro, you know when I get a holiday dump here, bro, I've got so many photos, bro. Like, man specifically chose that photo because he knew he would gain a reaction. Once you do something and it's conscious and you know what's going to be the outcome, you say to yourself, right, if I've got this post, I'm like, do I really? Like, how many of you, man, have got a tweet that it's like, do I really tweet that? Sometimes you might post something, you'd be like, you know what? Do I really post that? Do I not? Is it worth it? He knew consciously that is going to cause a lot of ag in the fan base. And he's done it. If he's owned up, listen, if he says, I'm leaving anyway, F it, then fair enough. I don't give a shit. But at the same time, it's like, bro, he knows he's still got fans. They clapped him off at the end. So the fans that we're basically saying to you, like, fair play, Rashford. He knows.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's another thing.
Especially at times.
That's another thing,
Before you go, What's your time when you know the United right now transfers, no one's really doing much. It's quiet. Sunday night, boom, you knew. BBC are reporting it, bro. Every outlet's reporting it. So he's done his job.
And that's why I'm saying to you, Saeed, bro, when it comes to Chelsea, I don't see us touching him. Because the reason why we didn't go back in January is because the attitude, bro. After this again, nah.
Do you know what? Don, you know why it's spot on? He might have shot himself in the foot because how many times have you done something in life and you think at the time it's good, but then like, hold on, like I kind of regret this. Other clubs, you're right, Don. Other clubs will look at it as like, we don't want this type of character in our club. So what if the chips are down whilst he's at our club, he starts acting like this as well. But then actually on the flip side, I feel like he's doing this because he knows he can get away with it at United. Would he do this at another club? You just don't know. You just don't know.
He would. I wouldn't even go as far to say is that. I think it's just a case of you saw this in the final. After the final, the first thing he come out and wasn't happy about was my game time. He's the main character. He thinks he's the main character of this whole story, and he's making it all about himself again. Manchester, don't forget about me. No. This summer is about where I'm going, not about what signings Man United are making. This is exactly what he's doing. He's trying to make it all about himself. He's got an ego. He thinks he's Ronaldo. He always thought he was Ronaldo when he was doing Sues and stuff like that. So this is just him trying to take that part in and PR. Let's make it all about me again. 100%.
You know when you saw the early signs, I know obviously he's Argentinian and he played with Ronaldo, but you know when he took the picture of Messi and Ronaldo and he's kind of he just wants all eyes on him. Like, look at me, I've got a picture of both of the goats. You're right. He's got that main character syndrome still. That he just wants all eyes to be on him.
Yeah, no, 100%. For me, it's like, I don't know how much we're gonna get out of him. It is what it is, but we got a lot to sell. Sancho, Rashford, even look at Rashford begging it on some Spanish YouTubers and that, bro. Say, I want to play with him. Like,
but what's going on? I'm seeing Napoli want him, but he's not trying to budge on the wages and that.
Wages as well. Wages.
I'll take Rashford. I'll take Rashford right now. I'll take.
Okay, how much for? How much should we negotiate?
40 mil. I think 40 mil would be about right, man. Like, actually, I don't think 40 mil is a bad price for Rashford at this moment.
Let's shake on the hand. Let's shake on that.
40 M's, that's what they want. That's what they want.
Saeed said for you.
Now, man, honestly, where do we think Sancho ends up now? Like, because I spoke about this when we got rid of him. I was disappointed. Yeah, obviously, look, everyone's got like bills and that. Like, we know he lives a different lifestyle to us and whatnot, right? And I don't know how much money Chelsea offered him, but it was definitely going to be less than what he's on right now. But where his career is right now, it's time to now humble yourself, right? Because you've had failed move after failed move. You had a little spell at Dortmund. It was all right. Champions League final.
I think he goes back there. Don, I think he goes back there. I think he goes back to Dortmund.
Bro, they're not paying the wages. Like, you came Chelsea. For me, you actually contributed to help us
get to work, man. I don't know where he goes, but he's got to get to work now, innit?
Where?
He's only 25.
LB, that's what I'm saying, though, bro. Because the sticking point for him is the wages, right? So his only option really is going to be to go on loan for another year and basically see out his contract.
We're not doing no loans. He's got 1 year left on contract.
Oh, he's going to pay him. He's going to pay him, Saeed.
You know can you blame a player who's on, what's he on, 300 or something racks, isn't it?
250.
Over 300,
250. Let's have it right. Any other team that's going to go in for him, that's probably in Europe, not going to, they'll pay at maximum 120 to 150. He's losing 120 to 150k a week.
It's a lot of money.
And if in his eyes, he could probably, do you know what, I'll sit out for a year. He's going to gain a couple mil, like extra difference from what he would get at another club. You can't blame him, man. It'll be a big price drop, like.
Don just spoke about humbling. Don just spoke about humbling himself. He's good. Yeah, he's. I hear this. He's gonna have to take a pay cut. Forget all of the instant girls and that. He's gonna have to take a pay cut. That's another way he's gonna have to humble himself.
But he might have a big boy agent, bro. He might have an agent team that need their money, bro. Like, you know.
True.
I don't think go Italy, the brand deals, like, you know, are they going to be cheaper over there as well? So we got to wait and see.
But the Italian teams don't really have money like that. Like, but you see Milan are selling all over the gaff. Leao, Randers.
They pay a lot for wages. Wages they fork out for wages, just not transfer.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But just to wrap up as well, man. The Pogba thing, you know what I mean? He's gone to Monaco now. Would you mind say that? Is that a good move for him now at Monaco?
I think it's a good move.
I feel like Monaco's the place for Finnish players. Like they all end up there somehow, some way. And
not Finnish players. What are you talking about?
Where did they finish last season? Where did they finish last season?
Hey?
Where did they finish in the table?
They finished third, I think.
They finished
Champions
first.
League. You lot, is it mad to
Oh, yeah,
say?
you
Yeah,
get Champions League football, yeah, Pogba.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chelsea
Champions League.
third,
Yeah, they
man.
finished third.
They've
They've
got a good team, man.
Yeah, nice.
is it mad to say as well? You saw how that French team performed in the Nations League with Rabiot still starting. Is it mad to say maybe you just might want to creep his way back into that?
Yeah,
World
of
Cup
course.
squad? Do you know
100%.
what I mean? That's probably why. Yeah, he's going back. He's going back home.
Yeah, man. Listen, for me, it's all about fitness, though. Because when he was at Juventus, the fitness was a problem. So if he has been training a lot, he has been there. So it's different, obviously, to play football than training 1v1 and that, and you're doing things in hot weather. But like I said, it's about his fitness. If he can stay fit, everyone knows the sort of player he is. You know what I mean?
Training with Euro, innit? Euro and someone else.
Yeah, Euro and Minu. He was out in America.
Yeah, I think he was
over there
training
in Miami. Yeah, so
Joe Pogba, yeah. Do you think that I know he won the World Cup and that, and he obviously won a bit at Juve and that, but like, do you think that he's one of the players that underachieved the most based off his natural ability in football? If you get what I'm saying. I know he won. I'm not saying he's shit because he won the World Cup, but I think that like based off a natural talent, I think that he should have probably been the best midfielder in Europe for maybe like 8 years.
You know what it is, bro? His ability showed that, but Man United massively failed him, and the people don't like what they hear. But when you look at what United gave him and what United built around him, it was shocking, bro. At the start, we had Fellaini and flipping a character who was past his best. You know what I mean? We never really kind of built a team around Paul Pogba. You do. Everyone does that. Every top club, they build around certain players. You'd be like, you know what? Let's do this. And we never did that for me. Yes, was there areas where I thought sometimes he could be inconsistent, but sometimes he was that good, yeah. He was dragging us to Europa Leagues. He was dragging us to certain positions and whatnot in the league. He was our only kind of almost midfielder that would be able to do something out of nothing. We didn't have them sort of players at United.
It was so good.
I want to rely on this other players doing it.
Do you know what side as well? You know I definitely failed him because even the whole PR, Pog back, the fee that you signed him back for, you're now supposed to build around this player. And I completely agree with you. I see where LB's coming from. I feel like he could have achieved much more because there was a season or two where he should have been the outright best. You know what I mean? That World Cup campaign when France won it, I was watching a competition the other day. One of the assists he does from deep for Giroud, and he was immense that World Cup. But I just feel like I do feel a bit underwhelmed that he should have even won a bit more because Juve, that midfield of him, Marchisio, Vidal, Pirlo, and that at Juve was immense. But like you said, I think United was that club.
Yeah, they were legit. They were legit playing in the 6 and that. He should have gone Madrid, man.
Yeah, he should have.
When that move happened, I was like, "Why are you going here?" Though, like,
we actually had a fee agreed with Juventus to sign him at City. It was in so much, the leaked emails that got.
Yeah.
City had a fee agreed 96 million for Pogba, and then obviously fucking decided to go United. He would have been the Yaya Toure replacement, bro. Can you imagine that? Him to replace Yaya Toure, bro.
I rated him more than KDB, bro. At one point, I can't lie. For me,
he was a talented player, man. He was a very talented player, but like I say, he chose the wrong club, and this is why, I go back to it again. Like picking the right club is so important. How many players? Look at João Felix, for example. At Benfica doing bits. Goes to Atletico Madrid. That move single-handedly destroyed that guy's career, basically. Like, you've got to have football people around you, and you've got to have these people like talking to you about like, you're going to this club for football, because if you're not going for football, career mudded. Sancho mudded.
LP,
Pogba
you know what?
Didn't achieve what he should have done.
I think the sentiment kicked in for Pogba. He's like, I was there as an academy graduate. I didn't quite make it in the first team. Let me go back there and show them the player that I've now become. Because I think he won 4 league titles in the bounce with Vidal, Marchisio, Pirlo. I agree with Don. I think after Juve, he should have probably made that move to Madrid. But he's looking at it like, and I don't agree with this, but he's looking at it like, he probably wanted to go straight from the youth team into the first team. It didn't quite happen because he was in the youth team of Lingard. I think a couple other players were in there as well. I think Tom Cleverley might have been in there. They had a very good youth team, right? I remember even going to a game and they beat us 5-0 and that Pogba was the talk of the town. But he's probably thinking, I've got a point to prove now. Go Juve, do what I need to do. Let me go back to United and show them they made a mistake selling me. But it didn't quite work out like that for him. Didn't work out for him at all. But I think sentiment kicked in for Pogba.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let me get these super chats before we wrap up. He says, Vinny said, I'll do 10 times more if I must, and vanished. And my man George wearing an undie on his head. Oh, that's crazy. That's a do-rag, people. That's a do-rag, man. LB, the show me the bid is so silly. Just because there isn't a bid doesn't mean there isn't interest. I guess no one wanted Turkey except City. Don was shaking. Oh, that's crazy, bro. I don't know what's going on here. George, you may wear a white kit, but you ain't like Madrid. The Beyonce concert at Spurs effing rated 45 million. Leave it is some demon thing.
Can't like off the pitch, he's a genius. That guy is a genius. Off the pitch.
He is. Arsenal need a 30-goal man to win the Premier League, period. Big up everyone. I don't know how many likes we ended up on here, but you lot need to be on 1,000 likes. This has been an epic show, man. Guys, let's see what likes we want. 747, guys. Let's get these likes up to 1,000, man. We're gonna redirect to George. George is going live right now, I believe. I'm sure he had his diary. But yeah, Roms, let them know what you got coming up, man.
Yeah, man. Another ep drop in. We'll just focus on the Club World Cup that should be dropping on the Football Verbal page on Wednesday. But yeah, not that much for this week. This week's a bit of a quiet one. But yeah, big up George, big up LB, Don, Saeed, every time, big up the chat. Yeah, man, you don't have a good week.
Yeah, man, big up to you, man. LB, what you got coming up, man?
Sleeping, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired, man. I can't lie. The fucking 2 a.m. watch-alongs, man. Heavy. Yeah. So,
even I could do this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, leave fair play to him, man. You know what I'm saying? But bro, this year, man, I don't know, man. I'm just getting knackered by the time it's like 11 o'clock.
Still jet lagged, isn't it? Still a bit jet lagged.
What's Yardman said? What's Yardman? Yardman calling me out now. What's he said? Has he said something online or something? Shout out to Yardman, man. But yo, listen, I don't know. What's going on, Yardman? Big up, man. Obviously, big up to Don as well, man. Big up to you.
Big up, man. Yeah, Blue Diaries later today, people. 6:30. Me and Rance are gonna go live at 5:30 as well, people. Make sure you're tuned in. And then I'm nearly on 7.4K, man. So yeah, you keep subscribing.
Come on, people. Yeah, big up to everyone, man. Listen, I know you lot have been seeing there's no League Gunner for a while, man. But League Gunner won't be part of the show anymore, man. League Gunner's a busy man. We're gonna have Dan Potts join the show. You know, I mean, hopefully start from next week. So yeah, big up Dan Potts. You know, but he will be part of the midday live now. Big up League Gunner every time. But his emergency streams are too long now. You get, man. He's up till 8 a.m. So it don't make sense for Lee to be part of the show anymore. So big up Lee. He's our guy. You know what I mean? Always love to League Gunner. You know them ones there. But yeah, Dan Potts will be here from next week. So hopefully we'll have an Arsenal rep for them, man. But listen, people, enjoy the rest of your day. Go over to Durag Diaries and shout. Just spam Amad Diallo, man. Big up, Pete.